Fresh off their first PIL win of the season on Monday, the DubSea Fish Sticks face a tough test on $3 Thursday at the Friar, welcoming the red-hot Seattle Studs to Mel Olson Stadium. Alongside Kyle Sweeney, I'm Angus Trengmo. We welcome you to White Center, Washington for a tilt between the two most recent teams to take home PIL championships, with the Studs winning in 2024 and the Sticks taking home the 2025 title. And Kyle, after a slow start to the summer, we've really seen the Fish Sticks start to swing the sticks a whole lot better.
Yeah, and this started last Friday against the Utah Yaks. And we'll start with Rylan Gollard, who was the stick of the game, and it was because of the bottom of the sixth inning. He started it off with a double, and then chaos ensued after that. Gavin George came up and hit the first of 3 hits in a row right at the shortstop. He easily beat that out. Then it was Braden Bartholomew's turn, and he reached after an errant throw. And then it was Luke Parker's turn. And that scored a run after he beat out the throw. And then Jake Daly was hit, and Evan Hellner walked. Those both scored 2 more. And then Alex Hamada laid down one of the most beautiful bunts we've ever seen to score another. Again, part of a 9 spot in the bottom of the 6th against the Yaks. Then after a pitching change, Vaughn Lowe came up, ripped a single up the middle to score 2 more. That was the first hit of the season for Lowe. And then it was Gollard again with the bases juiced, uses the turf, a nice friendly bounce, and that was the second double of the inning for Gollard that cleared the bases after Noah Kung forced a walk. And again, as we look back on the season and look at this Fish Sticks offense that really struggled through the first 4 games of the year, the bottom of the 6th inning against the Yaks will be a big marker for them.
Yeah, and it turned into another big output in the next game. 30 runs in 2 games for the Fish Sticks. They dropped 16 runs on the Northwest Honkers on Monday in a 16-1 blowout victory. But I don't think they're even the hottest team on the field today. The Seattle Studs have won 11 games in a row. They're 9-0 in PIL play. They are without a doubt the team to beat in the Pacific International League so far. And Bradley Carl has been a key piece of a dangerous Studs lineup.
Yeah, he'll be hitting 2-hole today, slashing .415, .573, .1064 in 15 games this season. That's a pretty good sample size this summer. He hit .333 at Pierce College this past season, and he's on a 10-game hitting streak, and 3 of those were with 3 hits or more. He's a big reason that this team is 9-0 in PIL play right now.
Studs can hit the ball really well, but they'll have a tough one to face today. Eli Hurst, the Fish Sticks ace, on the mound for DubSea today. It's the Fish Sticks and the Studs on the Fish Sticks Network, coming to you in moments.
For over 15 years, As You Wish Electric has offered the comprehensive electrical solutions Seattle families trust. We are proud to announce that we can now also serve your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. As we grow, we are committed to delivering the same knowledgeable and friendly experience that earned our spot as the region's top-rated electrical company. Contact As You Wish Electric, Plumbing, Heating, and Air today to learn more.
Fish Sticks are taking the field at the Friar for the second $3 Thursday of the season. It will be the DubSea Fish Sticks taking on the 12-3 and 9-0 in PIL. The team to beat right now, the Seattle Studs. Angus Trengmo and Kyle Sweeney joining you live from Mel Olson Stadium in White Center. We just had the first fish thrown here at the Friar by Seattle Foodie, a local influencer. I mean, if you're interested in the food scene in Seattle, I think he's been about everywhere.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, so.
And now he's here at the Friar.
And he's been everywhere now. You've been nowhere before you've been to the Friar, but.
Now this could have used some work. End over end on the fish, and unfortunately that is Jake Rolling who dropped it. But yeah.
Set up for failure, really, but the first missed exchange on the fish this season as we're getting ready to go. Evan Hellner is back behind the plate for the Fish Sticks today. We'll talk a little bit more about him as the broadcast goes on, but he's been hitting great. And then Eli Hurst on the mound, the Thursday starter for the Fish Sticks so far this season, coming in on the King County Metro Water Taxi, and he barely fits in that thing, Kyle.
Look at him, standing at 6'5". The Vanderbilt commit coming in against a really good Studs team. This is going to be a fun matchup and one we will highlight right after the national anthem.
As Kyle said, it is time for the national anthem, sung today by Catalina Durham. United States men's national team in town playing at Lumen Field tomorrow. The national anthem has been sung, and we are ready to go tonight at the Friar. Kyle, what are some keys to the game for the Fish Sticks today?
Yeah, there's a couple, and we've seen some explosive offense from the Fish Sticks in the last two games. But one of the keys for this team to continue that success is to keep it consistent. You see 30 runs in the last two games. 23 of them have come in 3 innings. So innings of 9, 8, and 5 runs. So that just means 7 runs in the other 15 innings. So obviously the offense has taken a turn over the last couple of games, but finding consistent offense will keep that winning streak alive for the Fish Sticks and then pound the strike zone. This pitching staff has done really well over the last 2 games as well. They've just let up 5 earned runs in the last 2 games, and when they pound the strike zone, it's really effective. They had 25 combined strikeouts in the last 2 games, but they have 18 walks. So obviously the stuff is there. They just have to get it into the zone. And also the Studs as a team have more walks than strikeouts this year. That is phenomenal plate discipline, so that is something that Eli Hurst and the rest of these pitchers will have to focus on. And number 3, next play mentality. This is the first of 4 straight games for the Fish Sticks, 2 of which are coming against the Studs. And they really need to, if you make a mistake, next play, because there's a lot of games coming up, and that starts today.
Eli Hurst getting the rock for Coach Kirby and the Fish Sticks. If you want someone who can really pound the zone, Eli Hurst is a great guy to turn to. 6 1/3 this season for DubSea, only giving up 1 run. It was not earned, and has struck out 11, including 8 strikeouts in 3 innings of work last week against the Blackfins. And I mean, he's a pretty large presence out on the mound, but with how this Studs lineup has been hitting, this is definitely the toughest task he's had all year.
Yeah, talk about an exciting matchup between the Vanderbilt commit and this year's Washington 4A Gatorade Player of the Year against a lineup like the Studs that have won 11 in a row. And we'll see as the game goes on just how elite this lineup is, top to bottom. The first 6 in the batting order yesterday all had a hit in their win against the Blackfins. And yeah, 9-0 in PIL play. That is a fantastic start for the 2024 PIL champions facing off against the 2025 PIL champions in the Fish Sticks tonight.
Lineup for the Seattle Studs. Dante Grant will lead things off. Then it's Bradley Carl, who we talked about in the open, batting second. Jeremiah Crane batting third, and then Kai Halstead behind the plate and in the cleanup spot. Then it's Jackson Copeland, followed by Tristan Ringrose playing second. The DH today is Tanner McVeigh. Cohen Sunich batting 8th, and Cooper Jeffries will round out the lineup, and Vaden Lawrence gets the start for the Studs. We'll see him in the bottom half of the inning. Here's Dante Grant against Eli Hurst. The Seattle Studs putting their perfect 9-0 PIL record on the line at the Friar tonight. Hurst is ready to roll. On a windy evening, and the first pitch is a fastball in there for strike 1, and that's the kind of velo we're going to need to see from Eli Hurst tonight.
Definitely 93 to 94 miles an hour, as we've talked about this season. And Dante Grant, this is a guy that spent 3 years in the minor leagues. So this is a pretty tall task for a tall guy in Eli Hurst right out of the gates.
Hurst goes fastball again, and it misses out. Like he said, Grant spent time in the Padres organization. Just played A-ball a year ago in 2025, hit .240 with a .733 OPS. Only played in 1 game for the Studs so far this season, went 2 for 5 and plated a run. Fouls off a fastball, he's still behind it.
Well, it's $3 Thursday here at the Friar, and of course, the beer garden is pretty full, and that was the first ball we'll see hit towards the beer garden.
Yeah, you always got to be on your toes over there. Lacking netting. In a couple words, lacking netting. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hurst into the windup, and that misses high and wide. Ball 2. Like I said, Hurst has really been able to compile a lot of strikeouts this season, and he's done probably the best job out of anyone getting ahead in counts for the Fish Sticks.
And you've seen him get behind in counts early in games as well. And so that's something he's going to be looking out for as this count fills up. But last couple of games, he walked the first batter in the season opener and then really composed it from there. But he's had a little bit of struggles with the first couple of batters in the game, and that's not something you can do against the Studs lineup.
Payoff from Hurst to Grant. Fastball popped high in the sky, and that's going to go onto the rain cover here at the Friar. We'll do the 3-2 again.
Well, Dante Grant has seen plenty of guys in the minor leagues with the same velocity as Eli Hurst, sitting around that 93, 94 range, but he's still behind this fastball, so I would assume that Hurst goes right back to it and dares him to hit it.
Second 3-2, way up. And Dante Grant works a walk to get things going. Great AB from Grant, and he will head over to first for Bradley Carl.
Yeah, that's the 5th walk of the season. 2 walks in each of his first 2 starts for Hurst. And that was a great at-bat, and the Studs bench loved it as well. So the leadoff guy is on, and this is the hitter we talked about in the opening, a really dangerous one in Bradley Carl.
Also a righty on lefty matchup, so advantage to Carl in that regard. Hurst had a successful pickoff in the first game. Nice play by Bartholomew, and we've got a double play early. Man, you're not going to see that very often. Grant just didn't bother running to first or second, got hung up in the middle. Bartholomew leaps up into the sky and turns 2 by himself.
Is that a 3 double play right there? That was not very good heads-up base running by Dante Grant over there at first base. He was confused by it. But Bartholomew, with the vertical leap, gets the out at first. Grant's super confused. He just walks right back to him instead of running to second. And what a comeback there from Hurst.
First pitch to Jeremiah Crane is fouled off as Braden Bartholomew, man, he got high in the air on that play. And then Grant, I think, just kind of a lapse in judgment. That ball bounced pretty early. Should have just gone over to second, but must have thought the ball was going to trail foul. It's a double play nonetheless. 0-1 misses up.
Yeah, Crane, a D1 guy, a UCSB product in 2025, played just 12 games before getting hurt, and that ended his season, but is hitting .333 in 10 games this year. There's so much skill up and down this lineup.
When grounded over to Tyler Eisenhut, should be an easy play. Throw is well in time. 1-2-3 for Eli Hurst in the top of the first, and the Fish Sticks will get a chance to take the lead early at the Friar. We'll get our first look at Vaden Lawrence on the mound.
Yeah, so the Fish Sticks are throwing out their obvious ace so far this season in Eli Hurst. Vaden Lawrence has been the ace so far for the Studs. Has had 3 starts, has gone 6 innings in all 3 of them. A 3.55 ERA in those 3 starts, has thrown by far the most innings for this team as well. A product of Pierce College, which is pretty common in this Studs lineup, as the Go Sticks chants ring out here. But Lawrence last year as a freshman at Pierce, 10 starts, 4.09 ERA, and just a 1.35 whip. So 2 really skilled pitchers coming out for both of these teams. So that'll be fun to watch.
A familiar lineup for the homestanding Fish Sticks today. Rylan Gullard will lead things off out in center. Then it's Gavin George and Braden Bartholomew also due up in the first. Then Luke Parker in the cleanup spot. Jackson Dule, who has been swinging the bat really well recently, batting 5th. Then Riley Sonoy out of Pierce College, where a lot of these Studs players go. He'll be batting 6th in the DH spot. Then it's Evan Hellner behind the dish. Tyler Eisenhut hitting 8th, and Noah Kuhn hitting 9th.
Yeah, this top 2, the 1-2 punch between Gullard and Gavin George has been really strong, especially as of late for the Fish Sticks. And again, as I talked about, consistent offense will win them more games. You won't have a lot of innings where you score 9 or 8 runs. That did help, of course, against the Yaks and the Honkers back on Monday. Of course, 14 runs against the Yaks and 16 against the Honkers. But consistent offense starts with the first 2 runners getting on base, and Gullard and George have done just that.
Throw down from Halstead, and Rylan Gullard will get things going. One of the vets on this team, played in DubSea last season. .350 batting average so far, 7 for 20 in the early stages of the summer, and he's driven in 5 runs. One of the many Linfield Wildcats on this roster, and you can tell he's kind of just got this leadership presence out in the field.
Yeah, .329 at Linfield last year.
First pitch Gullard sees is popped up, and that will make its way out of play for strike 1.
So obviously Gullard not afraid of attacking Lawrence early and often. But again, the ace for this Studs team that has boasted a great pitching staff so far this summer.
That one just slips out of the hand. No other explanation, and misses. Way up high for ball one.
Be interesting to see Sonoy against his college teammate when he comes up.
1-1 to Gullard, driven into left center. The wind's blowing that way, and that is way gone. Rylan Gullard off the bat. 1-0 Fish Sticks.
Well, that's a way to start a game. Forget base running. How about just drive yourself in for Rylan Gullard? He finds the same fastball he got on the first pitch. And as you said, the wind is blowing out there. I don't know if you could have seen it during the national anthem, but the flag is blowing straight towards the houses past left center field. And this one would have gotten out regardless. The wind just helped the case. And that's a way to start the ball game for the Fish Sticks.
First pitch to Gavin George, hits him right in the middle of the back. Drills him right in the middle of the 7, and he will make his way over to first base. But man, Rylan Gullard put a charge into that ball. And it's 1-0 DubSea.
Well, that's another way to get a base runner, is to get hit. Maybe a little frustration there from Lawrence, who's seen just 7 earned runs in 3 starts coming into this one, and allows 1 on the first batter of the game.
Bartholomew, not exactly an ideal start to the season at the plate. Just hitting just .238 so far as the first pitch. Misses in, ball 1.
We've talked about it this year. A great situational hitter for this team, and played super well last year at Southeastern College down in Florida. Hit .303 in 33 starts. So Coach Kribbe knows exactly what he's getting in Bartholomew, who's going to be the starting first baseman for most, if not all, the games this year.
Bartholomew hit .303 this past spring at Southeastern University down in Florida. Pickoff move. Checking on George, and he's in safely. No reason to throw down the tag over at first base.
Yeah, George was actually heading towards second base. So it was a pretty good pickoff move by Lawrence. Got to expect the speedy George will be taken off.
1-1 pitch to Bartholomew. He shows bunt, and that curveball loops in for strike 2. Nice pitch from Lawrence to get ahead.
Yeah, this is a big at-bat. A ground ball could completely change this inning. But Bartholomew, a dangerous hitter, hit a towering ground rule double on Monday against the Honkers. Bounced over to 380 sign.
Shows bunt 1-2, and that's a ground ball. It won't be 2. It's just slung over to first, and the throw is in time from Jeremiah Crane for out number 1. So Lawrence gets his first out, but the runner does advance, and now Luke Parker comes up with a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, we were actually talking about Mariners legend Cal Raleigh and how unlucky he's been this season. Luke Parker has had some unlucky at-bats this year. Hit him really hard, just right at defenders. There's obvious power with him. So we'll see if he flips the switch.
First pitch to Parker, grounded up the middle. Lawrence snatches it out of the air, and the flip well in time to beat out Parker to first. George does advance to third, but there's 2 gone for Jackson Dule. Dule is a guy that we love in the broadcast booth, and he is really starting to find his footing as a fish stick.
Yeah, a lot of speed out there in right field. That outfield is really solidifying itself right now, but he was 0 for 6 to start the year, and then a couple of extra base hits in his next 3 at-bats. Another great game on Monday. And he's up to 385 on the season.
First pitch to Dule, catches the inside half for strike 1. Lawrence made a mistake to Rylan Gullard, but has located well since then. Dule pops it way high into shallow right field. Coming in on it is Carl. Loses the hat, but makes the play regardless. And the first inning is done, but Rylan Gullard sets the tone on this beautiful Thursday evening. A solo shot gives the Fish Sticks an early 1-0 lead through 1. We'll see Eli Hurst again after the break.
You ever wonder how Crispy gets to the fryer for games? He uses King County Metro's Rapid Ride H-Line. King County Metro, the official commute of your DubSea Fish Sticks.
Once upon a home in the Issaquah Highlands, the Parkers used Thumbtack for a new kitchen island. Now the pizza is cooking and the kids are excited. Thank goodness for Thumbtack and all it provided. Start your home story on Thumbtack.
1-0 Fish Sticks leading the 9-0 Studs early. Angus Trengmo and Kyle Sweeney back here from Mel Olson Stadium. And Kyle, Rylan Gullard with an absolute moonshot in the bottom of the first gives the Fish Sticks the lead.
Yeah, you might even be able to hear it in our mics, but it is pretty windy out here, and as I mentioned, the wind is going to be blowing out there. Rylan Gullard has been one of the best hitters on this team this summer, was one of the best hitters last summer, but I would not expect that to be the last home run of the game, considering how well these teams have been hitting and how hard that wind is blowing towards left field.
Kai Halstead will get the ball rolling for the Studs in the top of the second. Halstead off to a great start, as is most of this Studs lineup this season. 333 with a 950 OPS, and he's driven in 17 runs. Again, they've only played 15 games, and he's driven in 17 runs, so getting a lot of opportunities and delivering often, as the first pitch missed for ball one.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys coming in the Studs lineup out of Pierce College. Halstead might have had the best season last year. He hit 336. Also had 36 RBIs in the 49 games.
Fastball's been working pretty well for Hurst so far, as that one's in there for strike one. A rarity for Eli Hurst in the top of the first inning. No strikeouts.
But inducing weak contact, and most of the time when the hitters actually do reach up and catch up to that fastball, the contact's not very good.
Looking for his first one of the night here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Halstead grounds it softly. Hurst turning into a defender here, can't make the play, and Halstead will reach on an E1.
Yeah, that's that weak contact I was talking about. That ball was way up towards 94 miles an hour from that fastball. And I think Eli Hurst was just thinking first base before he actually caught the ball. And now 2 straight innings where the leadoff batter is on. We'll see how Hurst responds this time.
Jackson Copeland comes up, second straight inning where the leadoff runner has gotten on. As Kyle said, I'm just stealing his notes over there. Hurst and the Fish Sticks got out of it with something you won't see a lot on a baseball field, the double play, 3 unassisted. Incredible play by Braden Bartholomew with the leather in the first frame. Hurst behind 1-0 early. That is fouled back onto the neighboring baseball field.
Yeah, still no Studs hitters have been able to catch up to this fiery Eli Hurst fastball. And Copeland, another one of these Pierce guys, struggled last year, just 188, but is hitting 320 this summer. And he has 3 home runs, 3 of the 5 on the season for this Studs team.
1-1 down and out. Nice stop by Evan Hellner behind the plate. It's kind of been a revolving door at the catcher position for the Fish Sticks. Peyton Barsotti, Jake Daly both getting work behind the plate as well, but it's Hellner today. He'll be due up in the bottom of the second. 2 balls, 1 strike. Hurst forces a ground ball. Nice fielding by Kung over to Eisenhut, over to Bartholomew in time. The second straight inning where the leadoff runner reaches and then is instantly gunned out on a double play.
Yeah, that was a tough play for Noah Kung, too. He actually had to back up all the way to the outfield grass, make the throw to Eisenhut, quick turnaround and a throw to Bartholomew. That is textbook stuff from this Fish Sticks defense. And as you said, another great turnaround for Eli Hurst to force the grounder after letting the leadoff man aboard.
Definitely a more traditional double play there. 6-4-3. And it leads to 2 outs as Tristan Ringrose watches ball 1. Yet another Pierce College guy on this Studs roster.
Yeah, still no strikeouts for Hurst. Had 11 and 6 1/3 as we highlighted coming in, but doing really well. There's another swing and a miss. Really well commanding the zone and forcing the Studs to hit his stuff, which is obviously very good, and there's a reason he's going to Vanderbilt.
throws a slider 1-0 that just rolls off the table. Ringrose chases it for strike one. Count evens out. Hurst is set. Fastball right over to Eisenhut. Didn't have to take a step. Bartholome's got to jump in the air to make the catch, but we've already seen Bartholome make a play up high today, and he does it once again. So 6 hitters and 6 outs. 2 double plays by the Fish Sticks gloves. And DubSea leads the Studs 1-0 in the middle of the second inning.
Wendy's went back to the kitchen to give our famous spicy chicken sandwich a total upgrade. More crunch, more flavor, with heat that just hits. Is this our best spicy chicken ever? Looks like a yes to me. Spicy chicken just got better at Wendy's.
They always say, think happy thoughts. It's easy when you're a Wendy's Cookie Dough Frosty Fusion. I'm an instant dopamine hit. Get it? Dopamine. Like cookie dough. I said like cookie dough. Happiness is a Cookie Dough Frosty Fusion at Wendy's.
For over 15 years, As You Wish Electric has offered the comprehensive electrical solutions Seattle families trust. We are proud to announce that we can now also serve your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. As we grow, we are committed to delivering the same knowledgeable and friendly experience that earned our spot as the region's top-rated electrical company. Contact As You Wish Electric Plumbing, Heating, and Air today to learn more.
Riley Sonoy, Evan Hellner, and Tyler Eisenhut due up for the Fish Sticks in the bottom half of the second inning. The home team nursing an early 1-0 lead thanks to a towering homer in the first inning off of the bat of Rylan Gullard. Sonoy, Pierce College guy, you'd think he's on the Studs with how many Pierce College dudes they have, but Sonoy 2 for 8 on the season. Looked really good on Monday against the Honkers. First pitch to Sonoy is a wave and a miss, strike one.
Hey, I think he wants to jump out against his college teammate in Lawrence on the mound. You mentioned 2 for 8. He was hitless in his first 6. Has had 2 singles in his 2 at-bats since then. And all of them came on Monday. So he came in and pinch hit for Gavin George after his 3-run triple. 2 singles, 2 RBIs, and a walk in 3 innings. I'd say that's pretty good.
Sonoy, one of a collection of players that had a great game against the Honkers. Fish Sticks won handily 16-1 earlier this week up at Mount Si High School.
13 players for the Fish Sticks had a hit on Monday. That is the most I've ever seen.
2-1 Sonoy, high fly. Could land in the triangle, but it's called off. Ringrose makes the play, and that's out number 1.
Yeah, college team out on the mound won that battle the first time. Sonoy took a real big hack on the first pitch of the at-bat. And that'll bring up Evan Hellner.
Hellner came in very late on Monday, but is off to a great start this season, 3 for 9 with a homer. He's driven in 7 for the Fish Sticks.
Looks like Lawrence is just trying to pump too much on his fastball. Seen a lot of pitches escape him a little bit.
Big cut from Hellner. He was sitting dead red, and the curve from Lawrence fools him for strike 1.
Yeah, Lawrence's go-to is for sure his off-speed pitch. It fooled Luke Parker with the runner in scoring position and got off the end of his bat and grounded it right back to Lawrence. So the Fish Sticks are a little off balance on that pitch right now.
1-1 to Hellner. Nice hold-up on the fastball for ball 2. What has made the season so good for Hellner is he's stayed disciplined at the plate on a team that likes to go after the first pitch. 2-1. Catches the inside part. Some fans at the Friar don't like it. It's strike 2 nonetheless.
Yeah, a couple of groans from the crowd. Definitely a tighter zone tonight.
Hellner battles off a 2-strike off-speed offering. Stays alive, and we haven't really seen Lawrence go deep into a count yet today. Hellner chases the off-speed. Throw down to first. He is on the money, and Hellner is retired on strikes.
Yeah, that's the off-speed that I just mentioned. It's pretty filthy, and he threw a couple to Hellner down in the turf earlier in the count. Hellner dove at one of them, and unfortunately that got him there. Again, a pitch to watch out for, and one of the big reasons why Lawrence has had a lot of success this summer.
The first strikeout for either team so far today, I think something we weren't expecting to say in the bottom of the second inning with Hurst and Lawrence on the bump for the Fish Sticks and the Studs respectively. First pitch to Tyler Eisenhut. Misses low. Eisenhut 2 for 8 on the season. He's worked a couple walks in, driven in a run. He's ahead 2-0.
Yeah, 2 for 8 on the year, but I really like Eisenhut's game. He's a really disciplined hitter. He likes to go after the first pitch if he sees it in the zone, but has made really hard contact all season long. Also had an RBI late in the season opener that helped turn the tide and get the win for the Fish Sticks, and he's quickly ahead 3-0.
Like I said, Eisenhut 2 for 8, but the OBP has really been good, and I think that's why he consistently finds a spot in the lineup. 3-0 is just a strike zone finder from Lawrence.
And missed all of last season at the collegiate level because of a dislocated knee.
3-1. Ooh, that right part of the plate has been pretty expanded so far, and that's strike 2. Might be something to watch out for today. Count is full to Eisenhut. He was ahead 3-0, and he watches ball 4 in the opposite batter's box. Eisenhut can run, so watch out for maybe a steal here. And the Fish Sticks obviously want to really make the base pass a playground, but we haven't seen that yet this year, I think.
No. Just 11 for 18, 61% stolen base percentage. Again, Kribbe talked about he wants his teams to be up at 80%. And he won't stop sending players at first and try to snag an extra bag. I wouldn't be surprised if Eisenhut takes off here.
Kung watches ball 1. You got to expect Lawrence to go after Kung with Rylan Gullard in the on-deck circle. Kung 2 for 9 on the season. He's worked 3 walks, similar to Eisenhut. That's another down and out pitch for ball 2.
Yeah, I'd expect Kung to be a little cautious on this at bat. The fastball has not been working for Lawrence. He tried to get Eisenhut to chase on the off speed in a 3-2 count last at bat.
Kung, soft grounder to third, might be a tough play. Crane's throw just barely beats Noah Kung. Heck of a play by Jeremiah Crane over at third. And the Studs are out of the bottom of the second clean. It's 1-0 DubSea through 2 at the Friar.
Yeah, that was a great play by King there at the hot corner. That is a tough one, especially with the speed that Kung has. And yeah, the defenses and the pitchers for these two squads, again, the last 2 PIL champions, are kind of showing off in these first 2 innings. If not for that Rylan Gullard homer to lead things off for the Fish Sticks, we'd be scoreless. But look at this.
Head, shoulders, fish going down on the first base side. You know, the classic game that we all played growing up, head, shoulders, fish. I got to say, what Ellie De La Cruz has done for Reds jersey sales nationwide is incredible. I don't think I ever saw a Reds jersey before 3 years ago.
Well, we got Seiya Suzuki as well. And I believe an athletics hat I saw. So we were shouting out the Nationals in the opener. Look at that representation.
We've got some knowledgeable kids in the ballpark on their baseball.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you see now what's the ruling here? Oh, Ellie decided that's probably
Ellie's
the
a
right
gentleman.
call. Yep.
Ellie's a gentleman. Look at that.
Talk about low to the ground. Yeah, he's excited as well. He's more excited than Gullard was going yard in the first. Head, shoulders, fish commences on the first base side as we prepare for the top of the third. Eli Hurst back out there for his 3rd inning of work. 2 innings, hasn't given up a hit yet, but has allowed 2 base runners. Still has faced the minimum.
Yeah, just 21 pitches, really efficient through his first 2 innings. And again, against a squad like the Studs, who have had a lot of success, obviously, on an 11-game winning streak. I'd like to see Hurst, especially as the efficiency that he's been displaying goes on. I'd like to see him extend to 4 or 5 innings.
0-1 to Tanner McVeigh. Misses wide, ball 1. McVeigh going to be a sophomore at Scottsdale Community College down in the desert. Not his best work in his freshman season, only hit 109 with a 418 OPS, but 355 so far this season for the Studs. The 1-1 grounded over to Eisenhut. He's been busy at second base. Nice backhand, and the throw to Bartholomew hits him in the numbers for out number 1. Nice play from Tyler Eisenhut.
Yeah, he made that look really easy. That was a couple of awkward bounces, and Eisenhut made that, basically that hitch that he got at the end there, that snag looked way too easy, and then a little sidearm throw. He had an earlier throw where he made Braden Bartholomew work pretty hard, threw it a little high. But Eisenhut having himself an afternoon so far, forced a walk, and has made 3 great plays at second.
So the first leadoff hitter to not reach base for the Studs today, as Cohen Sunic fouls off the fastball, and another Studs hitter that just has been tardy to the heater from Eli Hurst.
Yeah, good for Hurst to get ahead early in the count with that fastball. So far, they have not been able to catch up.
He goes fastball. Let's go a little early for ball 1. Sunic, a rarity on this Studs roster, is splits for his college season better than his stud splits. Hit 311 with an 836 OPS at Columbia Basin College down in the Tri-Cities. 1-1 misses out.
Yeah, and going back up to the dangerous top half of the lineup, if Sunic is able to get on base, he had 19 stolen bases last year, so a lot of speed at the bottom of the order.
2 balls, 1 strike. Sunic didn't want to go, but he sure did. And the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Hurst still looking for his first strikeout of the night, but I think he's all right there. He hasn't faced much trouble so far. I'd expect him to go back to the fastball.
2-2, swung on and missed. Sunic way behind the fastball, and Eli Hurst has his first K of the day.
Yeah, went right back to it. Sunic was way behind it the entire way. So the first time through the lineup, just 1 strikeout, but only 29 pitches for Eli Hurst. That is no tall task, or that is no short task, I should say, against the Studs lineup, and he made it look easy.
Cooper Jeffries in the 9-hole, watches strike 1 go by. Similar to Sunic, Jeffries can go. 19 stolen bases at Benedictine University, also down in Arizona. Quickly behind 0-2.
Yeah, Hurst is on his A game right now, and he needs it against the Studs lineup. This is actually the 9-hole hitter, so not back to the top of the order just yet. But that was 2 off speeds after 3 straight fastballs.
Jeffries off to a cold start, only hitting 130 with the Studs so far. The 0-2 fouled off down the first base side. Possible play for some kids in the crowd on the railing, but can't get leather on it.
Yeah, now in his 3rd start, I think Kribbe and Hurst are starting to form a little connection here. This pitch arsenal has been really strong so far.
No balls, 2 strikes. Hurst off speed in there for strike 3. It's a backwards K, and it's back-to-back strikeouts to end the 3rd inning for Eli Hurst. He faces the minimum in the first 3 innings, and the Fish Sticks lead 1-0, and they get the Sticks in the bottom of the 3rd coming up.
Oh, sweet. Thanks, Crispy.
For over 15 years, As You Wish Electric has offered the comprehensive electrical solutions Seattle families trust. We are proud to announce that we can now also serve your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. As we grow, we are committed to delivering the same knowledgeable and friendly experience that earned our spot as the region's top-rated electrical company. Contact As You Wish Electric Plumbing, Heating, and Air today to learn more.
Back to the top of the order for the DubSea Fish Sticks, and that means Rylan Gullard will lead off the bottom of the 3rd. It's a 1-0 lead for DubSea, and that is thanks all in part to Rylan Gullard. Launched a solo shot in his first at-bat to lead off the game for the Fish Sticks. And you got to think Lawrence is probably going to try and avoid him here.
Yeah, and I think he's going to avoid the fastball. The fastball didn't work for Lawrence too well, at least by his standards, through the first part of the lineup. Back to the top of the order, he threw a fastball right down the middle to Gullard, and he didn't miss it.
First pitch to Gullard, he goes off speed, and it is in there for strike one, so like you suspected, no fastball for number 20. 0-1, Gullard shows bunt. Seems like that confused Lawrence. Fastball misses by a lot. First homer of the year for Gullard. Seemed like he was due at some point, and he blasted off in the first inning today. 1-1 misses high once again.
Yeah, I think Lawrence is trying to stay off of Gullard here a little bit. It was the third pitch of the at-bat when he threw that fastball. I'm thinking he sticks with the off-speed.
2-1. Gullard watches it go. Unsuccessful appeal, nowhere close to swinging, and it's 3-1. And that misses out. Gullard is on base. He is ready to run over there. 17 for 21 on stolen base attempts at Linfield in the spring. And it's a leadoff base runner for the Fish Sticks, and Gavin George, who has hit so well with runners on this year, now steps in.
Yeah, Lawrence has pretty much only had trouble with Gullard so far tonight. Mowed through the rest of the lineup. But Gullard's on first. Again, as you said, I would expect Gullard to take off. No stolen base attempts so far this game for Elliot Kribbe and company, but you know that's what he wants to do.
George was beamed in the small of the back by the first pitch he saw. Oh, quick pick over to first, might be in time. Gullard just barely gets back in safely. What a jump from Halstead. He almost had him.
Yeah, I think Copeland over there at first might have actually had Gullard, but he missed the tag. Again, that'll keep the speedy Gullard closer to first base.
1-1 that George misses up. You got to think the studs know Coach Kribbe at this point in his third year in the PIL and know that the Fish Sticks are looking to steal a lot of bags tonight. Gavin George ahead 2-1. Pick off over to first. Gullard slipped up a little bit on the turf, but back in safely.
Yeah, Gullard was headed towards second before a nice pickoff move from Lawrence. We've seen a couple of them from Lawrence today where he's froze runners at first.
Gullard goes to second. George chases up high. The throw is well in time, and Gullard is out at second. Kai Halstead all over it for out number one.
Yeah, Gullard again was frozen on that pickoff move from Lawrence. Lawrence fired in a fastball that was high. The hit and run was on. That's why Gavin George swung, and Halstead was all over it. That was a dot to second base.
So now 2-2. George lifts one high in the infield. Called off by the first baseman Copeland, and there's two gone in a blink in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, this is what great pitchers do. When they get the leadoff man on, they remain composed and induce weak contact for outs. That time, Halstead behind the plate gave Lawrence a little bit of a boost with that dot down to second base to catch Gullard, and now suddenly two are gone and nobody on base.
First pitch to Bartholomew is a fastball for a strike. Bartholomew grounded out to the third baseman Crane in his first at-bat. 0-1, fouled back into the netting for strike two. Lawrence seems like he's really starting to settle in ever since that mistake to Gullard made it 1-0.
Yeah, just 39 pitches, so this will be his 40th with two gone here in the second. Very efficient work after that leadoff homer.
0-2 to Bartholomew. Down the first base line, a little bit too late on it. It's foul, and I think it might have landed over in the bullpen boat down the right field line.
I think it did. Got over the white picket fence.
Bit of a trick shot for Bartholomew, but a foul ball. Second 0-2. Bartholomew holds off and it misses out. Lawrence was already halfway back to the dugout.
Yeah, I think Bartholomew was sitting fastball, was surprised by the off speed that I thought caught the corner. I agree with Lawrence there, but new life for Bartholomew.
1 ball and 2 strikes. To Fuego, did he go around? He sure did. And the Studs, after a leadoff walk, get out of it facing the minimum. So through the first third of the game at the Friar, and the Fish Sticks lead the Studs 1-0.
Yeah, you talk about a pitcher's duel right now. The two aces are showing off with Eli Hurst and Vaden Lawrence. And again, I expect a longer leash from Eli Hurst here tonight, especially if he's doing the efficient work that he's doing right now.
Potato sack race, an actual classic, unlike head, shoulders, fish. We've all seen a potato sack race. These never get old, and some of the Studs hitters against Eli Hurst have looked like they're in potato sacks.
A little bit. And it's not just the Studs hitters, it's also been the A's as well, and then the Blackfins also looked a little silly against Eli Hurst. And again, there is a reason he is going to Vanderbilt. And standing at 6'5", his fastball has really been hard for the Studs to catch up to so far as the potato sack race comes to an end.
I love the dive into the finish line. That's just, obviously you're going to win, but just show off for a pretty solid crowd that we've got on hand. Another sellout on $3 Thursday at the Friar, and it's filled in pretty well.
Yeah, 3 sellouts in the first 4 home games for the Fish Sticks.
We've also got some fans in full bodysuits right in front of us in the broadcast booth down the first base line.
Plenty of jerseys are out,
yeah,
I must say.
We already talked about Ellie De La Cruz in the house tonight, but there is all kinds of representation, and I got to say, bodysuits probably my favorite fans of the year so far.
Full family decked out in that blue.
So Hurst faces the minimum in the first 3 innings, and it's back to Grant. Misses with ball 1, Dante Grant. Worked to walk in his first at-bat, but simply put, a bonehead base running decision got him out on a double play. Softly grounded, Hurst can't handle it again. Might be the second error of the game for Eli Hurst, and it is. A high bounce off the turf, and it goes off the end of Hurst's glove. Grant is aboard.
Yeah, it's rare to see Hurst make 2 mistakes like that. Again, just took his eye off the ball as that ball was going into his glove, was just thinking first base before he actually got the ball. Again, the leadoff runner aboard. Yeah, Kirby's going to come out and talk to him real quick.
So now the question will be answered. Does Kribbe take out Eli Hurst through 3 innings of work and 3 really good innings? 2 of the base runners he's allowed were errors by Hurst on the field, and then a walk to Grant.
Again, another weak contact induction there from Hurst. I would not expect Kribbe to pull him even after this inning. And the Fish Sticks are coming off 2 rest days after that 16-1 blowout on Monday where they used 9 pitchers. So we've got a fully rested bullpen, but again, expect Hurst to keep going if he's been dealing like he has the first couple of innings.
So now Bradley Carl, an explosive bat in the 2 spot for the Studs lineup, hitting .415 with an OPS of 1.064 with the Studs so far. He's driven in 20 runs in 15 games of work. First pitch misses for ball 1.
I don't hate that pitch from Hurst, the fastball trying to paint the corner.
Carl grounded into one of the weirder double plays you ever see over to first base in the first inning. Hurst checks on Grant. Looks like Grant really has no intentions of going, especially after a base running blunder his first time around the bags. Hurst to home, and that catches the low part of the zone for strike 1. The Studs up in arms about that call.
Yeah, I think that might have been a makeup call from the first pitch that might have tickled the strike zone high and outside.
1 ball, 1 strike. Hurst goes fastball Misses out. Hellner can't handle it.
There's a lot of action on the Studs bench right now. We can see it. They are after Hurst every pitch. They got to know what they got with the Vanderbilt commit. They're trying to throw him off his game any way they can. All of them up at the fence.
So far, it hasn't been effective, but a bit of traffic here. Now Hurst's 2-1. Fastball misses down and in. Hellner can't handle it. Grant will advance, and the first runner in scoring position for the Studs, and they are letting the Fish Sticks know about it.
Yeah, Hellner's been really great at the plate so far, the New Mexico State commit, but he's had a little trouble handling the ball behind the dish. Again, him, Daly, and Barsati have all split time there, and they've all kind of had trouble with that.
3 balls and 1 strike to Bradley Carl. Fastball, he's way early on it. Puts a scare into some kids at the railing, and the count is full.
Yeah, Carl was sitting on that fastball. First player to really catch up to it so far. And no balls have left the infield on contact on that fastball from Hurst.
So now a pretty big pitch here for the sake of Eli Hurst's outing. Run on second and nobody out. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
This would be the first earned run this summer for Hurst in his 3rd start if Grant were to come around and score at second. And he's faced trouble before, multiple bases loaded situations, and he's gotten out of the jams.
Hurst taking his time before the payoff. Here's the 3-2. That misses out. Ball 4. Runners on second and first with nobody gone for the Studs.
I think Hurst was a little off his rhythm there. That honestly might have been a changeup that just got away from him. But that's not the worst walk in the world. That puts a force out on the base pass with nobody out. Of course, Crane is a tough out at the plate. So I don't hate the pitch selection to try to get Carl to chase there. Again, one of the most dangerous hitters in the PIL so far this summer.
Jeremiah Crane grounded out to Eisenhut in his first at-bat. A ground out would do wonders here. First pitch, Crane chases it for strike 1. And Studs dugout does not care. They are just giving Evan Hellner trouble for any ball that doesn't end up in his mitt.
An earful every time either Hurst or Hellner messes up. And it'll be the Fish Sticks going down to Tacoma to face off against the Studs again tomorrow.
We'll be on the radio broadcast over there. Crane fires it down the third base line. Studs dugout vacates, and it's 0-2. But you can notice the Studs really starting to find the tempo on that fastball, almost finding it a little too well. They've been early twice in a row.
Well, there's been 4 base runners, 2 walks and 2 errors against Hurst. So no hits for the Studs so far. Like I said, he just needs to pound the strike zone.
0-2 to Crane. Grounded over to the left side of the infield. Nice play by Parker. The throw to second in time. They'll get 1. So runners on the corners and 1 down. It'll go down as a 5-4 fielder's choice. And the Studs continue to threaten.
Yeah, that's the ground ball that Hurst wanted to force. Just put in an unfortunate position right in between Parker and Kuhn. It was a nice job by Parker to call off Kuhn there and get at least 1 out. But now a first and third situation. Not the most speed in Kane over at first base. But look for the Studs to maybe try to cause some chaos on these base paths with Halstead up to the plate.
Guy Halstead has been all over the stat sheet so far this season. 333 with a 950 OPS. Hurst goes slow with the first pitch for strike 1.
And Hurst has been inducing a lot of grounders so far today. That's been his main cause of outs. Only 2 strikeouts, which by his standards through the first way through the order isn't that high. But he's living low in the zone and forcing grounders.
0-1 Halstead to a knee. Chases the slider out for strike 2.
And this would be a big out for Hurst. There's still that force out at first base with Kane. But after a runner reaching second with nobody out, this would give him a sigh of relief.
0-2 up the middle. It's a base hit. And the Studs have tied this game in the top of the 4th. Guy Halstead rips a single up the middle for the first hit of the game for the Seattle Studs. And the first run, 1-1.
Yeah, and the first earned run that Hurst has given up all year, and Halstead was all over that fastball. Just took it right back up the middle. Eisenhut couldn't even dive for it. A nice piece of hitting from Kai Halstead, as he's shown all summer long. Finally caught up to that 93-mile-an-hour fastball that Hurst boasts.
So now some serious pop in the box with Jackson Copeland for the Studs. First pitch, blow by with the fastball for strike one.
And again, Copeland, 3 of the 5 home runs for the Studs this year, and that wind is still blowing way out there towards the left center field wall.
I like the move to keep Hurst in here. We've seen a lot of instances where he's gotten into traffic in the fourth, and they've taken him out, and that's a grounder to Kung. They won't go for the double play. Throw over to first. He's on target. Runners on third and second, and 2 down, so the Studs with a big chance to take the lead in the fourth for Ringrose.
Yeah, again, another grounder induced on that fastball from Hurst, and this is a big out. Obviously with 2 runners in scoring position, but trying to protect this tie ball game. And this game, in terms of PIL play down the road, is a big one. The Fish Sticks are 1-3 in PIL play and looking to get back up to 500.
Ringrose goes after the first pitch. Parker fields it. Long throw across the diamond. One hops into Bartholomew's mitt. And Eli Hurst keeps the score even. 1-1 going into the bottom of the fourth. Fish Sticks looking to retake the lead.
Wendy's went back to the kitchen to give our famous spicy chicken sandwich a total upgrade. More crunch, more flavor, with heat that just hits. Is this our best spicy chicken ever? Looks like a yes to me. Spicy chicken just got better at Wendy's.
They always say, think happy thoughts. It's easy when you're a Wendy's cookie dough frosty fusion. I'm an instant dopamine hit. Get it? Dopamine? Like cookie dough. I said like cookie dough. Happiness is a cookie dough frosty fusion at Wendy's.
Oh, Audrey, look over there.
Where? Oh, a whole herd of reindeer beers.
Not herds, Audrey. Rainier's come in 6-packs.
Oh,
Wake up, Harley.
Harley, look at the reindeers. Oh, they're just so fresh and friendly.
Studs pull even in the top half of the fourth inning. 1 run apiece for the Studs and the Fish Sticks. Angus Trengmo and Kyle Sweeney coming to you from Mel Olson Stadium. And Kyle, it was a pitcher's duel in those first 3 innings outside of a bomb from Rylan Gullard. And as Lawrence comes out for his 4th inning of work, Eli Hurst kind of got into a jam in that inning, but I think he handled it pretty well.
Yeah, nice grounder and a throw from third to first from Luke Parker to Braden Bartholomew, who made a nice pick to end the inning. But Aiden Lawrence has let up 1 hit today. It was that leadoff shot by Rylan Gullard. Since then, no hits through the first 3 innings, or 4 innings now, of work. And we'll see if Lawrence can keep up his efficiency.
After ending the frame with his mitt in the top half, Luke Parker will lead off with the bat in the bottom half. First pitch missed out. Parker grounded out to Lawrence on the mound in his first at bat. Kind of got off balance for strike 1 there. Nice location from Lawrence.
Yep. Lawrence got Parker way ahead of himself with an off speed his last time up.
Parker times that well. 1 hops right into the mitt of the shortstop, Sunich. And there's 1 away in the 4th.
Yeah, that's kind of what Luke Parker's been doing all season long, getting really good contact and hitting it right at defenders. Just one of the unluckier starts to the season that I've seen so far. And that ball was hit really hard. It was on the ground, but right at the shortstop. A nice play.
Jackson Dulé 0 for 1 today. Flew out to right field with a runner on third in the first. Ahead 1-0 early. Dulé some big games in recent outings as Lawrence skips it in for ball 2. In the past few innings, we've seen this a couple times. Lawrence kind of just falling behind in counts, but he's done a good job battling back all night.
Yeah, Dulé had 2 singles in 1 inning on Monday in that 8-run barrage in the bottom of the fourth. That avalanche of offense that we've seen from the Fish Sticks in a couple innings in the last 2 games. And Dulay's really come into his own.
3-0, another strike zone finder from Lawrence with 3 balls and no strikes. Dulay, 327 career at nearby Kentwood High School, and he works a walk. Dulay is on for the first time today with 1 down.
This will be interesting to see from Coach Kribbe over there at third base to see if he sends Dulay. Lawrence has been really good at keeping runners at first, and Gollard was the only stolen base attempt of the game so far, and Halstead ripped a perfect throw over to second base and got him by a few paces at least. And Dulay, one of the speedier, if not the speediest guys on this squad, as Von Lowe is coming up to pinch hit.
So Sonoy gets 1 at bat, and now one of the hottest sticks on the Fish Sticks into the box. It's Von Lowe. 6 runs batted in the last 2 games alone. He'll be in the DH spot for now. First pitch is a strike.
Yeah, Lowe, kind of like Dulay, started out the season pretty cold from the plate, but since then, he was hitless in his first 8 at-bats. His 3 for his last 4 with 6 RBIs.
Lowe drove in 4 on Monday against the Honkers. Is Dulay. Lead, nice fielding from Lawrence. This could be 2, 1, 4, throw to 3. Ball pops out of the mitt of Copeland, and Lowe reaches. It should have been a double play, but the Fish Sticks get new life in the 4th.
A nice hustle from Lowe on that ball right off the bat. And that's big. It's big to have Vaden Lawrence up his pitch count, which has been very low to start out this game. As we take another look, looked like Copeland had it there for a second.
Evan Hellner now up. That ball gets away, and Lowe breaks instantly for second. He slides in head first, and he is safe. So a runner in scoring position on the pass ball. Halstead, who just drove in the run in the top of the 4th, couldn't quite handle that pitch from Lawrence, and a nice heads-up base running decision from Von Lowe.
And now runner in scoring position because of that hustle for one of the best hitters on the team in Evan Hellner, and one with a lot of power as well.
Hellner hitting 300 in 10 at-bats so far this season as Lawrence locates for strike 1. Lawrence has lived on the inside half against both righties and lefties today.
Yeah, Hellner had the 2nd home run of the season for the Fish Sticks up at Edmonds College, an absolute blast over the 350 mark.
That's skipped in. Nice play by Halstead to keep it in front of him. Low thought about going to 3rd, but will stick around at 2nd. Fish Sticks took an early lead in the 1st, but the Studs pulled even in the top of the 4th. Now DubSea looking to get the lead right back. 2-1 to Hellner. Misses, and it's by Halstead again. Von Lowe will advance to 3rd, and he is 90 feet away from giving the Fish Sticks their 2nd lead of the game.
Again, just heads up base running for Von Lowe, who's not the fastest guy on this really speedy Fish Sticks team, but after hustling and forcing an error essentially on that double play ball, he's made it all the way to 3rd base now in a 3-1 count to Hellner.
So all Hellner needs is a hit, and the 3-1 misses in. He will take his bag. Runners on the corners with 2 down. A big spot for Tyler Eisenhut.
Yeah, Eisenhut didn't swing the bat his first time up, and 6 pitches induced a walk. I would expect him, if he sees a fastball in the zone, to go after the first pitch of the at-bat like we've seen so many times this season.
Eisenhut worked to walk in his first at-bat. 2 for 8 on the season. Watch his strike 1 go by. Really the most traffic we've seen Lawrence let up. Obviously gave up the run with the bases empty as the 0-1 misses down.
You can see Eisenhut getting a little antsy. Still hasn't swung the bat yet. That first pitch was well located on the outside corner. He's still sitting that fastball.
1-1 Eisenhut a little late to the party. as a foul ball for strike 2.
And Eisenhut hit 361 his last healthy season. Really skilled guy. First team all-league selection at Mount Hood Community College, hitting that 361.
1-2, he chases outside. Vaden Lawrence is out of the 4th unscathed. And the Studs and Fish Sticks are through 4 even. 1-1 going into the 5th at the Friar.
Yeah, the aces are out and about now for the Studs and the Fish Sticks, as Hurst will trot out again to the mound, which is what I expected to see, a little bit of a longer leash for him. But here we go.
So Crispy is 1 for 3 on the season on the races, a losing record.
Oh,
Early
dear.
signs of losing again.
Oh, no.
It has just not been Crispy's year so far.
Out to an early lead, too.
Yeah, and here comes the taunt. You just
man.
knew that was going to happen once Crispy fell pretty far behind, and he is just having a tough campaign so far.
One of these days, one of us got to hop in the Crispy suit, middle of the game, and race against one another.
I'm not sure we're tall enough for the Crispy suit, Kyle.
How tall do you think that head is on that mascot?
The head alone?
Yeah.
1.5 feet. It's,
at least.
It's humongous. It's a lot to handle, and
it's got to be tough to run in, you think. And it's
you'd
not.
think.
It's not cold
There's no
out
way
here.
you can see. I guess you'd probably see out of the mouth.
Probably.
I guess.
It's pretty hot. It's around 75 degrees, as it has been pretty consistently here at the Friar. And that's a heavy suit as well.
Yeah, no, it's a lot to handle, and Crispy not handling it well so far this season. 1-3 in the Crispy race so far.
Might have to be like a Batman situation where you got to get more aerodynamics in his suit. Try to get him to win a couple more races this year.
I'm not sure that's in the budget for the Fish Sticks organization as Tanner McVeigh steps in to get the 5th inning started. Like you said, Hurst back out there. The longest outing for a Fish Stick starter so far this season. McVeigh fouls off the first pitch.
Yeah, we highlighted it. McVeigh only hit 109 and 46 at-bats at Scottsdale Community College this year, but has really picked it up this summer, hitting 355 in 8 games. Didn't have success against Hurst his first time up. And it's 7-8-9 due up, so expect Hurst to attack the bottom of the zone, which he had a lot of success with the first time around, garnered a couple strikeouts.
A couple errors in the field for Hurst already, but outside of that and a couple walks and the hit last inning that brought in the run, he has been pretty good all day. Especially, we talked about it in break, the pitch sequencing has been great for Eli Hurst.
It has been showing all 3 pitches that he highlights, and especially the off-speed, which we've seen a lot more of compared to the season opener, where he was pretty much just pumping only fastballs.
1-2, McVeigh grounds it over to Kung. Throw to Bartholomew, right on the money, and the first out is recorded in the 5th.
And I might sound like a broken record here, but the grounder has been working in Hurst's favor, just living low in the zone. Kung's made a couple of great plays, and so has Eisenhut. We saw Luke Parker end the last inning on a nice ground out. So he'll find continued success if he continues to live low in the zone.
Parker is over at third today and listed primarily as a shortstop, but there's so many good gloves in the middle infield for this Fish Sticks team, as the first pitch to Sunich is a fastball that Sunich waves and misses after strike 1. But Parker moving over to third. I mean, we've seen a bit of the glove that he has over at third. I think it's a smart move to just keep Luke Parker out there in any way, shape, or form, just because he hits the ball so hard. And he's doing a good job at third.
Yeah, it's tough when you have 4 or 5 listed shortstops coming into the summer for Coach Kribbe.
0-2, skips off the plate, covered up by Hellner, ball 1.
Yeah, Sunich waved on 3 fastballs and was the first strikeout of the game for Eli Hurst, his last time up. And he's late on both the fastballs that Hurst's given so far.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Hurst strikes out Sunich again. 2 Ks for Sunich in the 8-hole so far. And there's 2 down for number 22 in the 5th.
Yeah, that might have been his fastest fastball that we've seen tonight. He just pumped that past Sunich. This has been a really clean top of the fifth for Eli Hurst after seeing some trouble last inning.
Cooper Jeffries watches strike one, and that right side of the plate has been a pitcher's paradise so far. Hurst gets the call there. 0-1, fastball misses up.
And when Hurst has been missing today, he's been missing right around the zone. We've saw a couple errant pitches his first 2 starts, and he is really dialed in right now. Well, as I say that one got a little bit away.
Say something? You know, I can't say I've ever seen a broadcast team like us so far this year with the Fish Sticks that can really just derail momentum like we do. It's incredible, really. I don't know how we do it.
If we were keeping tallies, that's at least 8.
It's up there. 2-1, misses in, and what do you know, another errant pitch after Kyle Sweeney had to say something. Count is 3-1.
We've seen a couple off-speed pitches from Hurst in these 3-ball count scenarios, which we haven't seen earlier in the season. He's been commanding those off-speeds really well. He's been working on them in practice.
3-1, and he misses down low. Jeffries is aboard with a 2-out walk, and it is back to Grant up at the top of the lineup.
Yeah, that's a huge walk for Jeffries at the bottom of the order. He led the league at Benedictine University with 19 stolen bases. So a lot of speed, and then going up to the top of the order with the guy who's seen a lot of time in the minor leagues in the Padres system in Dante Grant.
Grant has reached base both times he's been up today. His first pitch misses out. Was walked in the first inning, then reached on an E1 in the fourth, ended up scoring the run for the Studs. Like I said, Jeffries can go. Pretty modest lead, but still dangerous over at first. 1-0 coming to Dante Grant. He checks, swings, and it's in play. Parker cuts off Kung. Nice play from Luke Parker in the corner. And Hurst is through 5 innings with only 1 run allowed. Fish Sticks will get another chance to regain the lead. It's 1-1 in the middle of the fifth.
Wendy's went back to the kitchen to give our famous spicy chicken sandwich a total upgrade. More crunch, more flavor, with heat that just hits. Is this our best spicy chicken ever? Looks like a yes to me. Spicy chicken just got better at Wendy's.
They always say, think happy thoughts. It's easy when you're a Wendy's cookie dough frosty fusion. I'm an instant dopamine hit. Get it? Dope-amine? Like cookie dough. I said like cookie dough. Happiness is a cookie dough frosty fusion at Wendy's.
Well, during the break, Mel Olson Stadium has quickly turned into a pizza party. A parade of kids behind our infield host, just begging for some Zeke's pizza. But eventually finds a fan about 5 rows up in a beautiful Tacoma Rainiers hat.
Now, this is unpaid, but I have been to Zeke's Pizza. A little unpaid advertisement here. It is very good. So if I was a kid, I'd be one of those kids trailing those guys, try to get a slice.
Yeah, they give out a box of pizza, Zeke's Pizza, at every game in the middle of the 5th inning. It's like clockwork, and every time, you know, it's just a sea of children that follow, whether it's Micah or whoever's in the blue suit or the Fish Sticks. Speaking of hats, man, nice. How do you access that?
I don't know.
Can I buy?
It's almost as tall as Fish Sticks or Crispy's
head. Yeah, we were
I
just
guess.
talking about Crispy's head. So an early pitching change for the Studs. Lawrence went 6 deep in all 3 of his starts prior to tonight, but he only goes 4 innings today, and it's George Gatsinaris for the Studs to take on the 5th.
Yeah, another right-hander. We'll see a little bit of elevated velocity here against Noah Kung to start the inning. Gatsuneris has a tough task to follow up. Lawrence, a really efficient 5 innings of work after that leadoff home run from Rylan Gollard, got the party started in the bottom of the first.
Kuhn, Gullard, George due up for the Fish Sticks. Kuhn goes after the first pitch. Gatsuneris throws, fouls it off right back towards our broadcast team in the press box.
We will not catch any balls this year. The netting is all the way up. A little unfortunate.
We don't think we'll catch any balls.
No.
We'll find a way to do it, though. 0-1. Misses down ball 1.
Yeah, Gatsuneris, a Puget Sound guy. Seen a couple of those. Yeah, Puget Sound guy. We've seen a couple of those on the Fish Sticks roster, so a couple teammates on the other side of the diamonds.
1-1. Kuhn shows bunt. Tries to lay it down. Fouls it off right into Halstead's lower body region. And yeah, I think this is a lesson for all the kids up at the railing at the Friar tonight. He takes a lap around home plate. He's ready to go.
Yeah, Gatsuneris listed at 6'4", 210. Just finished up his sophomore season at Puget Sound. Played in 9 appearances. Had 7 strikeouts on the year.
He's ahead 1-2 on Noah Kuhn. Kuhn grounded out to the third baseman, Crane, in his first at-bat on what was a great play over at the hot corner by Crane as the 1-2 misses up.
The fielding has been elite between both of these teams so far. A lot of ground balls have been forced by Lawrence and Hurst. And the infield for both sides have been making pretty hard plays look pretty easy so far.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Gatsuneris comes home. Kuhn stays alive. Nice piece of hitting to foul off that fastball. Gatsuneris goes down and in, and I think it would have been strike 3.
Yeah, again, Kuhn, just 2 hits this season, but a lot of plate discipline. He's forced 3 walks on the year, one of the smarter guys in this Fish Sticks lineup. He's also been flashing leather at shortstop all summer long.
Gatsuneris' first hitter, Kuhn, making him work. And as I say that, Kuhn chases a high fastball for strike 3. 1 batter, 1 K for George Gatsuneris.
Yeah, now back to the top of the order. And Gollard connected on that fastball and sent it way over the fence out there in left field. The wind has died down a little bit, but it's still blowing towards the houses past left center.
Like I said, Gollard put one in the driveway of those houses out in left center in the first inning. Still the lone run for the Fish Sticks. First pitch misses. Up ahead of the top rail, and that top rail really not a generous spot for pitchers today.
No, it's been a tighter strike zone than we've been used to the last couple of games for the Fish Sticks for sure.
Gollard watches strike 1 on the outside half. Gatsuneris, pretty good velo so far.
Yeah, he's been living on the fastball. We'll see if Gollard is going to sit on that. He's been a tough out. After that home run, he walked back in the third.
1-1. Misses down ball 2.
It's kind of a funky delivery that Gatsuneris has. The arm comes around really late. The fastball also tailing towards Gollard in this scenario.
Gollard from just northeast of here in Renton. As the slider misses out, ball 3. Definitely one of the veterans on this Fish Sticks team, and he has proved why he was an everyday starter last season already this summer. 3 balls and 1 strike, Gollard ahead on Gatsuneris. And that pitch misses in. Gollard reaches base for the 3rd time today. It's his 2nd walk.
Yeah, after that home run in the first inning, both Lawrence and Gatsuneris have pretty much avoided Gollard altogether. As Kribbe's going to talk with Gavin George, we saw a hit-and-run sign back in the 3rd inning, but Gollard was way out at second base on a nice throw from Kai Halstead behind the plate. So I think that's what Kribbe's talking about with George here. Only that 1 stolen base attempt, and that's the 8th time now the Fish Sticks have been caught on the base paths.
Gould has some wheels over at first, but didn't pan out well. First time they tried it today. First pitch misses in, and another shot taken by Halstead. He has just been a punching bag behind the plate. Busy day so far, and then just taking shots all over the body. That one hits him in the left shoulder.
You saw Zach Hampson warming up a little bit in the Fish Sticks bullpen. One of the most trusted relievers over the last 2 summers for the Fish Sticks.
Kirby went Hurst and Hampson against the Blackfins last Thursday as Gullard goes once again. Not a clean exchange from the glove to the hand from Halstead, and Gullard is successful the second time around, a runner in scoring position with 1 down.
Yeah, that time the hit and run was not on, or else George would have swung at that one a little low in the zone and tried to induce a grounder. I think he just cleared the way for Gullard, not afraid to steal again. This time, no throw from Halstead, but I think his jump was good enough anyway.
So Gavin George, who has been great with runners in scoring position, 6 for 15 on the season. Watches that miss. Down and out, ball 3, and Gatsonaris working on another walk. Or, excuse me, that's ball 2. Beg your pardon.
This is why this 1-2 punch with Gullard and George has been so good this season, is because Gullard's been able to get in scoring position.
Gullard dancing in the baseline. George way ahead, and that's strike 3. Count was all out of whack in the stadium, and we were no exception as George heads back to the dugout, and there's 2 down.
Yeah, George struck out with the bases loaded. Excuse me, Gullard did, and then George, again, another, as you mentioned, guy that's really good with runners in scoring position, and that time was sitting right on that fastball, was way out in front, had no chance on that off speed.
Bartholome watches the first pitch for ball 1. Fuego, great situational hitter in that 3 hole, but with 2 down, they need a hit out of him here. If Gullard wants to score, give the Fish Sticks the lead. We'll have a stoppage of play.
Well, this is a really important at-bat for Braden Bartholome, who has been one of the best situational hitters for the Fish Sticks this season. We talked about the offenses for both of these squads coming into the game. Right now, runs are at a premium, and with runners in scoring position, you have to take advantage if you're either side of the diamond right now. It's a big at-bat for Bartholome.
Fuego already a nice collection of plays over at first base this season. Turned an unassisted double play earlier today in the first inning. Not something you're going to see a lot of on your day out to the ballpark. And he had to go Air Jordan to make that play too. Over 2 today, grounded out to the third baseman in the first and struck out in the third. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Gatsonaris comes set. Gullard just taunting him almost at second, and that misses out. Ball 2. Rylan Gullard is, I think, the first thing on Gatsonaris' mind right now. He's taking all kinds of time and looking back at Gullard multiple times before every pitch right now. Yeah,
Sunich and Ringrose aren't really trying too hard to keep Gullard there at second base. We'll see if Gullard decides to take action on it.
2 balls, 1 strike. Bartholome gets a piece of it right into the mid of Halstead, strike 2.
We just saw that off speed that completely fooled Gavin George for a big strikeout last at bat. Bartholome has been behind that speedy fastball. Gatsonaris shakes one off. We'll see what he's got coming.
Gatsonaris with a chance to get out of the 5th. The 2-2. Bartholome high fly, just barely leaving the infield. Sumich is under it, and the Studs get out of the 5th. The score is still stuck at 1-1 going into the 6th inning at the Friar. And the defenses and the pitching have both been great on both sides so far.
Yeah, we haven't seen, other than Gullard's leadoff home run, haven't seen any balls leave the infield, really. And I don't even know if that counts, that pop out that just left the infield. But Gatsonaris doing a great Lawrence impression and getting out of the 5th inning. As we've got the pony hop.
Pony hop.
Oh, dear.
A staple.
Oh,
that's
no.
a yard sale, man.
Oh, no.
Just, another yard sale Well, one of the easier wins you'll ever see in the pony hop.
I would love to see a replay of that first one, just right off the bat.
That looks like the AL West this year.
Oh, man.
Everyone just crashing and
Look
burning.
at this.
Someone winning on accident. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man.
Oh, no. Oh, no. That's the type of video, like, at your high school graduation.
That's ridiculous,
like,
this video.
Your parents send you that the day you graduate high school. It's just like, you've grown so much, and it's that video of that poor girl just face planting into the outfield grass.
Where's Rob Deerdeck when you need him?
Yeah.
Shout out ridiculousness.
shout out ridiculousness. Sure, man. Yeah, let's shout out ridiculousness. I like that. Zach Hampson will come in for the 6th inning. 5 strong innings from Eli Hurst today. And they go Hurst-Hampson last Thursday, and they do it again against the Studs. It also looks like Alex Hamada will take Eisenhut's place at second base. So a few substitutions from Coach Kirby going into the 6th inning.
Yeah, we talked about the 1-2 punch at the top of the order for the offense. This is about as good as it gets with the 1-2 punch with a starter and a reliever in the PIL between Hampson and Hurst. Hampson sat down all 3 batters he faced in that season opening win against the A's, and he'll be making a lot of appearances. Another Fish Sticks veteran for this squad. Again, multiple seasons in a row with a sub-3 ERA over at Linfield University. And this is a guy that can really throw. Doesn't have the highest velocity on the team by any means, so definitely a velocity difference between Hurst and Hampson, but his off-speed is really where he relies on, a lot like Vaden Lawrence, the starter for the Studs. And he induces a lot of strikeouts by placing those off-speed pitches really well.
So they take out Hurst before his 3rd time through the lineup, and Hampson will face the meat of the order, Bradley Carl, to lead off the 6th for the Studs. Carl, a great hitter, 0 for 1 with a walk today. First pitch, there's the off-speed. Hellner can't handle it, but it's strike 1 anyway.
Yeah, a slider and a changeup for Hampson are really his bread and butter. There's a great example of that right there. Again, almost the complete opposite of Hurst, who relies a lot on that fastball. We saw a lot of off-speed today that worked well for him. And now we're going to see a lot of off-speed from Hampson. Probably one of the reasons that Kirby wants to go from Hurst to Hampson.
0-1, there's the fastball, and it's nicely placed. Or is it? I mean, that right side of home plate has just been like a free strike, it seems. Usually it's either inside or outside, but today it's just the right side of the play. I don't think I've ever seen that in a game where a pitcher can just live on a certain side, whether it's in or out. It's the 0-2. Fouled towards the Studs roster over down the third base line. Carl stays alive.
Yeah, it looked like a changeup from Hampson that really threw off Carl there. Again, a .573 on-base percentage coming in 15 games. That is spectacular. So an out here is a win for the Fish Sticks.
Hampson's 0-2. Carl down the left field line. It might get down. Kuhn can't handle it, and it's a base hit. Carl just loops one into left field, and it falls where no Fish Sticks defenders can get it. Leadoff base runner for the Studs, and Bradley Carl just showing that talent he has in the box.
Yeah, that was in the Bermuda Triangle right there. I think Kuhn had the best chance at it, but he misplayed it because he was on a full-out sprint from the moment that ball was hit. A little bit unlucky for Hampson as the leadoff runner is aboard. And a huge lead from Carl at first.
Now it's Jeremiah Crane. Hampson, the righty. No good look at Carl over at first base as Crane fouls off the slider for strike 1.
Hey,
Jeremiah Crane from UC Santa Barbara. You got the mascot?
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, Dad. I don't know.
Gauchos.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. I didn't want to embarrass myself, but
You got to trust your gut there.
again, an apology to Chris Sweetie there. I should have known that.
Bradley Carl, like you said, a huge lead over there. Smart move from Hampson with Carl back in safely.
Yeah, that changeup on the first pitch just completely fooled Crane. Got induced weak contact.
Obviously a good matchup for Hampson here. Righty on righty, and such an off-speed heavy arsenal for Zach Hampson. Even bigger lead for Bradley Carl over at first. Thought about going, didn't, and Crane, a big hack. Doesn't get any piece of the ball for strike two.
I'm surprised Carl hasn't taken off. That is the biggest lead I've seen this summer at the Friar. Is well beyond that curve of the turf out there near first base. Bartholomew's sitting on it.
You can see Kunga Hamada ready to break to second in case Carl goes. Just a huge primary lead, and there he goes, 1-2. Hellner, nice throw, in time. Might be a gift for the Fish Sticks. That throw one hops in, and Bradley Carl is called out, and now the third base coach for the Studs.
Yeah.
I believe that is going to be Cody Aiden over there at third. He's going to have a chat.
Yeah, I think he got in there safely. That was a great tag by Alex Humada, who comes in for Tyler Eisenhut, but a big out. That would have been a runner in scoring position with just one gone, or no gone. So nice throw by Hellner nonetheless.
So now the 1-2 to Crane. He fouls it into the netting in a brand new situation for Zach Hampson. We saw this go in favor of the Studs earlier today. Rylan Gullard reached with a walk to lead off an inning, then broke for second, and he was out by a mile. Now the Fish Sticks return the favor. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jeremiah Crane. Hampson gets the chase. Oh, no, he doesn't. Wow. Maybe should have been out number 2.
Might have been a makeup call.
Yeah, a little bit.
He definitely went across on that. Little gift. You take another look.
Yeah, for sure.
He went.
Full count regardless. Hampson's payoff. Fastball. Crane rips it into right, and that's going to get down right in front of Jackson Dulé. So a lease on life for Crane, and he takes advantage. The second base hit of the inning for the Studs.
Yeah, really nice piece of hitting. Got a little gift there. That should have been strike 3. But that was hard hit. Hit it where the ball was placed. Now a runner aboard once again here with just one out.
Kai Halstead drove in the run for the Studs with an RBI single in the 4th. Interested to see how big of a lead Crane gets. Definitely not as large as the acre of land Bradley Carl cut out for himself. That ball gets by Hellner, and it'll be a free base for Jeremiah Crane. Studs dugout getting rowdy every time Hellner can't handle a pitch, and even louder there as Crane moves into scoring position with 1 down.
Yeah, it's not the first time that Hellner's dropped a ball behind home plate. Another passed ball and another free base. And again, as I said, in the top half of this inning, or in the bottom half of the 5th, any run is huge right now as both teams are throwing out their best pitchers.
1-0 from Hampson, nicely located inside, strike 1. He's going to have to live with that slider and changeup, which is obviously his bread and butter. But the Studs starting to see some balls. It's 2 hits off Hampson to start this inning. Counts even, 1 ball, 1 strike to Kai Halstead. Shot into center field, should be an easy play for Gullard. Camps under it, and Crane will stick around at second. There's 2 gone.
Yeah, that might be the hardest hit ball of the game. Really unfortunate to go right to Gullard there in center. But Halstead, he has impressed me today, both at the dish and behind the plate as well. Caught Gullard stealing. Just an impressive player and a long line of great players on the Studs team.
So now Jackson Copeland will come up. Not the best day at the plate so far for Copeland. A couple ground outs, one of which turned into a 6-4-3 double play. Now he's got to face Zach Hampson. First pitch, outside. Hellner able to keep it in front of him for ball 1.
Like all great pitchers do, Hampson's been able to rebound quite nicely after that 3-2 count single from Crane and then the pass ball. That was a big out, and now he's starting to punch the strike zone again.
Fastballs are few and far between with Zach Hampson, but that one is well timed for strike 1.
Only a high 80s fastball for Hampson, but again, that's not his signature pitch. He will go to it, but the off speed has been fooling the Studs so far.
1 ball, 1 strike in a 1-1 game, top of the 6th. Studs looking to take their first lead of the day. That pitch just misses for ball 2. Good frame from Hellner, but it's not enough.
You can see Gavin George in left field almost at the flag, deep into that left center gap. The wind is blowing straight right towards the right field line.
2-1 misses out. Hellner once again able to keep in front of him. Copeland moves ahead, 3 balls and 1 strike. Tristan Ringrose is waiting on deck. Ringrose hasn't had the greatest start ever to a season, hitting under 200 with the Studs. Hampson comes set on the 3-1. Pitch is popped up. Looks like it'll get out of play. Hellner gives it a look, and it's right off our press box where.
And there they go.
I think it gives our broadcast team a scare, and man, that is just a horde.
There they go, right after the ball. It's not often you'll see those. It's really hard to place a foul ball right there here at the Friar.
So a pretty big pitch here in the top of the 6th. Hampson looking to get out of the frame clean. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch to Copeland. Strike 3 called. Copeland thought it was ball 4, but Hampson paints the outside part of the zone, and the Fish Sticks are able to stay square with the Studs. 1 run apiece going into the bottom of the 6th at the Friar on the Fish Sticks Network.
Once upon a home in the Issaquah Highlands, the Parkers used Thumbtack for a new kitchen island. Now the pizza is cooking and the kids are excited. Thank goodness for Thumbtack and all it provided. Start your home story on Thumbtack.
Wendy's went back to the kitchen to give our famous spicy chicken sandwich a total upgrade. More crunch, more flavor, with heat that just hits. Is this our best spicy chicken ever? Looks like a yes to me. Spicy chicken just got better at Wendy's.
They always say, think happy thoughts. It's easy when you're a Wendy's cookie dough frosty fusion. I'm an instant dopamine hit. Get it? Dopamine. Like cookie dough. I said like cookie dough. Happiness is a cookie dough frosty fusion at Wendy's.
Oh, Audrey, look over there.
Where? Oh, a whole herd of reindeer beers.
Not herds, Audrey. Reindeers come in 6-packs.
Oh,
Wake up, Harley.
Harley, look at the reindeers. Oh, they're just so fresh and friendly.
All square at 1 going into the bottom of the 6th inning at Mel Olson Stadium. Angus Trengmo and Kyle Sweeney up right behind home plate down the third base line with a sea of fans in front of us. And Kyle, after Rylan Gullard got the Fish Sticks on the board in a flash, it's been shut down from the Studs pitching.
Yeah, that's the only hit of the ball game so far for the Fish Sticks, was on the 3rd pitch of the game off of Vaden Lawrence, who started for the Studs. Since then, it's been shut down from Lawrence in a shutdown inning last inning from George Gatsonaris. And Parker had a hard hit ball to shortstop his last time up. We'll see if he can do it again. Oof.
Parker chases for strike 1.
He doesn't take calm hacks. We'll just say that.
No, he is looking to put a charge into a ball about every swing, and a couple ground outs for him today, but a hard ground out in his last time up.
It's a good eye there on the inside. Again, a tight strike zone so far today. He had a nice windup on that one. He was looking for that fastball from Gatsonaris, which is definitely elevated from Lawrence's fastball.
1-1 pitch to number 1, up and in, ball 2. It's Parker, then Dulé, then Vaughn Lowe for the Fish Sticks in the bottom half of the 6th inning.
Dulé and Lowe, probably the 2 hottest hitters on the team as of the last couple of games. They've been staples for this team that scored 30 runs in their last 2 games.
Nice pitch from Gatsonaris. He goes off speed and fools Luke Parker for strike 2.
I haven't seen a changeup so far from Gatsonaris, but his pitch sequencing with his fastball and his slider have been really good so far.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The offering to Parker misses up, and the count is full. Gatsonaris has worked into some pretty deep counts in 2 innings of work, but hasn't turned into many base runners for the Fish Sticks. Parker looking to get on for some hot bats behind him in the order. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Deep breath from Gatsonaris, and the 3-2. Called strike 3. Parker wanted it to be ball 4. Similar to Copeland at the end of the top half of the inning, and Parker heads back to the dugout.
Yeah, that wasn't the first time he saw that off speed in that count. That was well thrown by Gatsonaris, but that looked a little high in the zone. But nonetheless, that will bring up Jackson Dulé.
Dulé 0 for 1 today. Worked to walk in the 4th. Fastball misses in. Ball 1, Dulé. I think it's been a more patient approach for him recently, and it's turned into a lot better plate appearances and a few hits.
Yeah, really skilled hitter. Also likes balls down in the zone. That's where he's lived on his extra base hits so far this year.
1-0, Dulé, did he hold up? No, that is strike 1. Nice pitch from Gatsonaris. He goes back to that fastball in.
And again, a lot of speed, sub 760 speed for Dulé. You see the average and the OPS have skyrocketed in the last 3 games.
Dulé, the only guy on the Fish Sticks from Bellevue College. As the 1-1 misses decisively, ball 2. Part of that outfield that we've come to know for Coach Kirby's team. Rylan Gullard in center, Gavin George in left, and Dulé in right. Deep breath from Gatsonaris. Here comes the 2-1. Dulé, big hack. Strike 2, and Gatsonaris continuing to control his pitch as well.
Yeah, that's a hack we've seen from Dulé. That's right around where he got that triple against the Blackfins for his first hit of the season, was in that low outside corner.
Another full count to get the 6th started. That one almost makes its way up and over the net. Would have started an ambush for that ball in the walkway.
Kids are lining the fences as they do with every sellout. Again, the 3rd sellout already this summer at the Friar.
Struck out Parker looking on the first full count of the inning. Here's the 2nd, way up high. Halstead can't even get his glove on it, and Dulé works his 2nd walk of the game. So Jackson Dulé, I mean, he is really starting to take a better approach at the plate, and it's turning into a lot more efficient work in the box. And now it's Vaughn Lowe. He's driven in 6 in his last 2 games.
Yeah, Lowe hit another one right up the middle, just a little too weakly, and then beat out the throw at first base. But with Dulé, with all that speed, I would expect him to be moving here to try to put a runner in scoring position.
And with runs coming few and far between tonight, the base paths are going to be huge down the stretch in this one. Lowe through the left side of the infield. Man, there is no cooling down Vaughn Lowe right now. It's another base hit. And now runners on 2nd and 1st with 1 down for the Fish Sticks.
Yeah, and that's how Lowe has done it all year, and especially the last couple of games. He's just attacked that first pitch. We highlighted it in the opening against the Yaks. Drove in 2 this time. Really well struck, perfectly placed, and right past the shortstop Sunich. And that's the first hit for the Fish Sticks since the leadoff home run from Rylan Gullard all the way back in the 1st inning. So that's a confidence booster for this Fish Sticks lineup right now that has been hot over the last 2 games.
So Coach Kribbe will take out Evan Hellner. His day is done, and he will turn to the big bat of Peyton Barsotti. Barsotti launched a homer on Monday against the Honkers for his first hit of the season. And he comes up in a spot where he can really blow this game open with a big cut.
Yeah, we saw Barsati's power from day one. It was on display in practice, and we finally got to see it in action on Monday, and that really kick-started things. That broke a 1-1 tie for this team, and that was the first and second runs of 8 in the fourth inning of that one.
Outside of that homer, it has not been smooth sailing for Peyton Barsati. 1 for 13 on the season, but that one hit was a loud one. And we're going to have a mound visit after the first pitch misses up. I think the Studs just want to talk over the approach to a new hitter and a dangerous hitter like Barsati, who can really put a dent in the scoreboard if he makes contact with one.
Yeah, Barsati, 6'3", 245 at St. Mary's, a D1 talent, has plenty of power. We've all seen it if you've been around the Fish Sticks to start the summer. I just think his problem is he's thinking home run every single time he steps to the plate. There's obvious power. If he gets the barrel to the ball, it will travel. And so I think the key for him for the rest of the summer to get back on track, especially after that 2-run bomb that we saw on Monday, is just to focus on swinging smooth through the ball. And this is a great at-bat to get back to that right now with 2 on and 1 gone in a tie game.
Barsati, one of 3 Californians on the roster this year, alongside Alex Hamada and Cole Nutfer. Spent his freshman season with the Gales in Moraga at St. Mary's. 1-0, misses down, ball 2.
And I think that Barsati, as the summer goes on, can force a lot of walks that way. Obvious power from him, and he's looking to jumpstart his season coming off of that. And if he has enough plate discipline, he can become a reliable guy for Kribbe in this lineup.
Delay over third. That catches a piece of Barsati, and the bases are juiced. With 1 down, Alex Hamada will come up for the first time today. A defensive substitution in the top of the 6th, and now comes up in a big spot in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, and we've seen Hamada deliver in this spot multiple times. Drove in the first run of the season way back in the season opener. And then had that RBI bunt last Friday against the Yaks that we highlighted. I don't think I've ever seen a better bunt than that, as Gatsenderis' day will be over. So big spot for Hamada.
As we take a look at the upcoming schedule for the DubSea Fish Sticks, a pretty loaded weekend, Saturday and Sunday, both at the Friar. It's Pride Night on Saturday, and then Seal Slinger Sunday, our first one of the year, on the 21st. Both of those games against the Redmond Dudes. It's a 6:05 first pitch on Saturday, and then a matinee 1:05 first pitch on Sunday. And then next Thursday, my birthday, actually, another $3 Thursday against the Redmond Dudes, 6:35 p.m. first pitch.
There's a lot of baseball coming up. The games are going to start to pile on for the Fish Sticks as we enter into late June and early July.
And actually, right outside of that window, a makeup game scheduled today for June 26th, also against the Redmond Dudes. Makes it an 11-day stretch that are all game days for the Fish Sticks, so they're going to get busy here. Emerson Clark will now come in for the Seattle Studs. Another righty arm for the visiting team.
Yeah, this is a tough spot to come in for Clark with the bases juiced and just 1 out. He's got a lefty in Alex Hamada, so this is kind of an interesting scenario for the Studs to go righty against this left-handed batter, and especially like one in Hamada who's delivered in these spots before.
Hamada comes into this at-bat hitting .286, 4 for 14 on the season, and has driven in 3 runs. Not looking to send one out of the park. About the exact opposite from Barsati in front of him. But like you said, a base hit in the season opener, and hits really well in these types of situations. Definitely a guy that you can trust in a clutch spot.
And Clark, a lot like Gatsenderis, a towering figure at 6'4", 200. No stats last year, no action at the the University of Puget Sound. But obvious velocity coming from Emerson Clark. And this is a big spot for Hamada to come up and do the first damage on offense in a while for the Fish Sticks.
Yeah, that damage was done all the way back in the bottom of the first when Rylan Gullard led off the game with a solo shot. And with the wind blowing that direction, you just kind of knew it had a really good chance of leaving the yard. And I think everyone in this stadium knew it was probably gone off the bat.
Yeah, and that was the first hit and only hit coming into this inning before Von Lowe finally slinged a line drive into left field. But now a big spot for Hamada against Clark.
Hamada shows bunt on the first pitch, and it misses for ball one. Halstead wasn't able to corral it out of the mitt, and I think the Fish Sticks returning the favor. The Studs have been very active in the dugout when Hellner isn't able to corral the ball.
It'll be hard to beat Hamada's bunt that he laid down in this exact scenario last Friday against the Yaks where he drove in a run. The ball just sat on the left field line.
Clark behind 2-0, 2 balls away from giving the Fish Sticks the lead in the 6th. Hamada has worked a walk this year. It's the 2-0. Finds the strike zone. First strike for Emerson Clark today.
Yeah, it's a good take from Hamada. Clark coming in a tough spot. Force him to throw a strike ahead 2-0. Hamada still in command of the count.
Something to note, Jake Daly in the on-deck circle for Noah Kuhn as Hamada swings through a fastball, strike 2. Daly not primarily a shortstop, but possibly in for the benefits of the bat. He has hit really well since joining the team a little late. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Alex Hamada in the box. Clark comes set in a big spot here. 2-2. Hamada battles it off into the net.
Hamada's gone up the middle multiple times this season. Again, not a big power guy, but creates great contact off the bat. And Clark looking ground ball here with 1 out and the bases juiced.
Infield playing pretty deep, corners relatively in. Hamada swings and misses. Huge strikeout for Emerson Clark, and there's 2 away in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, Clark let out a big yell after that strikeout, and he deserved it after going down 2-0. Looks like it might have gotten away from him a little bit there in the count. And now Daly will be coming up. But still, bases loaded with 2 outs. 1 more batter for Clark to get out of this jam.
So it will be Jake Daly in a huge spot in this game. It's been a pitcher's duel to this point, and the Fish Sticks take their second lead of the game and really make this one feel a lot more dominant than it actually is, regardless of how many runs he would bring in, depending on what he does here. First pitch, looped into center, but it's caught. Ringrose all over it over at second. Emerson Clark gets out of it. He is excited as he heads over to the dugout, and the Studs stay even with the Sticks. 1-1 after the 6th, as it looked like Daly might have found green grass there, but Ringrose all over it.
Wendy's went back to the kitchen to give our famous spicy chicken sandwich a total upgrade. More crunch, more flavor, with heat that just hits. Is this our best spicy chicken ever? Looks like a yes to me. Spicy chicken just got better at Wendy's.
They always say, think happy thoughts. It's easy when you're a Wendy's cookie dough frosty fusion. I'm an instant dopamine hit. Get it? Dopamine? Like cookie dough. I said like cookie dough. Happiness is a cookie dough frosty fusion at Wendy's.
The thumbtack relay race going on in left field just to the side of the ice chest, which has stayed pretty full even into the late stages of this game, and a game that has moved really quickly. 1-1 going into the 7th as Zach Hampson is back out there.
Yeah, and you mentioned some shifting with Jake Daly coming up for Noah Kuhn there to end that last inning. Isaac Watson will now be at the hot corner. A really good glove out there. Looks like Parker has moved to shortstop. So it's no stranger is Elliot Kribbe, the coach for the Fish Sticks, to making changes late in the game. And this is a big game in PIL play right now. So we've seen fewer of those changes, but still changes nonetheless.
The Studs have breezed through the first part of their PIL slate, 9-0 in league play coming into tonight. Fish Sticks giving them a good run so far, and it has been thanks in large part to the men on the mound, Eli Hurst and Zach Hampson.
Yeah, Hampson has been really efficient, just like his running mate Eli Hurst has been. We'll see this a lot on Thursdays this summer with this duo. And Hampson's command of that off-speed pitch has led him to success, not only in the first couple of games and appearances for him this year, but also as a Fish Sticks veteran last season.
Ringrose, McVeigh, and Sunich are due up for the Studs, and this part of the lineup has really had no answers for Hurst and Hampson so far. It also looks like Peyton Barsati will take control behind the plate. He replaced Evan Hellner as a pinch hitter in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, 19 pitches for Zach Hampson in the first inning of work. Kribbe going to go back to him. Again, a full bullpen of rested arms after 2 days off following the 16-1 drubbing of the Honkers on Monday. So this might be Hampson's last inning of work.
Hampson gets Ringrose started with a strike, down and out. And that slider really has been working for Hampson so far today.
And he'll continue to go back to it as long as the Studs can't get on balance with that pitch.
Ringrose, he got on balance with it for sure. That's in the gap. Gullard all over it. Might be looking at a hustle double. Ringrose turns for 2. The throw not on target, and the tag is not in time. Tristan Ringrose. Good heads up base running, and it's a leadoff double for the Studs.
Yeah, that ball was laced to the outfield. The outfield grass out there, again, different from the turf, just completely killed the ball, or else that ball was going to go to the wall in a hurry. And Gullard caught up to it. Just an errant throw and nice hustle from Ringrose, and the leadoff man is on.
So in a flash, the Studs threatening to take their first lead of the game, and Ryan Spiro will pinch hit for Tanner McVeigh. Spiro, usually a regular in the lineup, going to be a senior down at Puget Sound where the Studs play their home games. 389 with an OPS just short of 1. So far, first pitch, he goes after it. Isaac Watson, a trusty glove over at first. The throw skips in, and a nice dig by Bartholomew. That'll keep Ringrose at second and get the first out of the inning.
Yeah, Bartholomew has been showing that dig off, and that was a nice pick. A long throw from Watson. Again, his first throw in the field of the night after just subbing in there. You see him kind of working his arm a little bit at third base. Bartholomew's saved a couple of errors so far.
So it will be Sunich. Once again, he struck out swinging a couple times today, both against Eli Hurst. Runner on second, 1 down. Sunich shows bunt. Hampson throws a called strike anyway. Man, that slider is good.
Yeah, that's very well placed with a right-on-left matchup, an extremely hard place to throw a bunt down for Sunich. Again, a lot of speed for Sunich, but has not had success at the plate so far tonight.
Cooper Jeffries is on deck. If Sunich were to lay down a sac bunt here, 0-1, Sunich swings away, and that might be an insurance claim. It's 0-2.
I was headed right towards my car out there.
Yeah, that's worrisome. It's really, the parking lot is right next to the field. The proximity is very close, so park at your own risk at the Friar.
I will think about that next time.
You work here. Come on, man. Hampson ahead 0-2 on Sunich. Cohen Sunich looking to avoid his 3rd strikeout of the game. 0-2, called strike 3. Sunich is sat down once again, and Zach Hampson had his way with the 8-hole hitter there.
Yeah, 2 quick outs after that leadoff double by Ringrose, and it was the first 2 strikeouts was swinging on Eli Hurst's high-velocity fastball, and right there, just completely off balance, as are most of the hitters that face Zach Hampson. It looks like Kribbe might be handing the ball off here.
Looks to his bullpen. Zach Hampson has been really good.
That's interesting.
Hampson will come out. A great day for Zach Hampson. 1 2/3 of scoreless work for the trusty veteran reliever. Or Coach Kribbe will turn to his bullpen. With a runner on second and 2 down in the top of the 7th, Fish Sticks trying to stay even.
You ever wonder how Crispy gets to the Friar for games? He uses King County Metro's Rapid Ride H-Line. King County Metro, the official commute of your DubSea Fish Sticks.
Once upon a home in the Issaquah Highlands, the Parkers used Thumbtack for a new kitchen island. Now the pizza is cooking and the kids are excited. Thank goodness for Thumbtack and all it provided. Start your home story on Thumbtack.
So with a runner on second and 2 down, Elliot Kribbe goes to his bullpen, and it's another fiery arm out of a reliever. It's Finn Still for the Fish Sticks.
Yeah, Still 4 2/3 this season. This will be his 4th appearance of the year, so a really trusty arm out of the bullpen this summer. He's not Eli Hurst at 6'5" in stature, but he emulates that velocity with his fastball. So now with 2 down here in the top of the 7th, a little interesting to move away from Zach Hampson, especially with how in control Hampson had been after that leadoff double. But Kribbe electing to go with a little bit more velocity here with Jeffries, the 9-hole hitter, coming up.
Finn Still, really hot fastball, aptly plays for the Fire down at Southeastern University in Florida, college teammate of Braden Bartholomew.
4 strikeouts, just 1 walk, no earned runs for Still in 4 2/3 this season. So again, very trusted arm out of the bullpen, and he'll bring himself and his high velocity in this high leverage situation.
Cooper Jeffries will step up. 0 for 1, worked a walk in his last time up. Still comes set, checks on the runner at second in the first offering. Fastball misses down, Barsati all over it.
It's going to be a weird turnaround for Jeffries. After seeing all the off-speed work that Hampson had done in the last 1 2/3, now it's his time to see another high-velocity guy in Still.
1-0 just misses out, and it's ball 2. Jeffries ahead. Something we haven't really seen out of Still so far this year. There's a lot of free passes. He struck out 4, but really has pitched to contact well, and weak contact at that. 2-0 to Cooper Jeffries. Takes his foot off the gas pedal, and it's strike 1. Not something you're going to see a lot of out of Finn Still, but just needed to find the strike zone, and he does it well there.
Yeah, that was a big pitch. Trying to avoid a 3-0 count. That actually looked like a changeup there. And just threw in there for strike 1. Jeffries was going to lay off of that 2-0, especially with the new pitcher coming in.
Seattle Studs looking for their 12th win in a row. With a win, they would improve to 10-0 in the PIL, and already building a pretty sizable lead in the league standings. Still comes set for the 2-1. It's a fastball, and it's in there for strike 2.
Yeah, after that off speed, I think Jeffries was sitting on it. After the first 2 fastballs that Still threw, got away from him a little bit, thrown a little off balance, and now Still has taken command of this at-bat.
Finn Still, 4 2/3 scoreless innings so far this season. Looking to make it 5. 2-2, fouled off. Hit really hard, but Jeffrey tardy to the fastball.
As are a lot of hitters against Finn Still. Interesting scenario with Jeffries way behind the fastball and off balance a little bit on the curveball to see where Still goes here.
Still working to Barsati. Ringrose over on second. No one covering. Second 2-2, and Jeffries, another fight off. Already worked a walk today, and he's battling off Finn Still really well here.
Yeah, Still 2 straight fastballs, went back to it after Jeffries was late. A well-placed pitch.
Still ready to work. The 3rd straight pitch at 2-2. Just misses in. Fish Sticks wanted it. Kyle wanted it as well. You were nodding your head over there.
So went back to that off-speed. First miss he's had with the off-speed, and now a full count. And Jeffries behind on the fastball. I'd expect him to go fastball here.
Dante Grant on deck. Big pitch here. Doesn't go fastball. It misses in virtually the same spot. And a great at-bat from Cooper Jeffries keeps the inning alive for the Studs.
Yeah, and that's a big one. Back to the top of the order now with Dante Grant and 2 runners on. That was a tough spot for Still to come in for his first batter. Not the worst thing in the world to walk the man, but with a lot of power with Grant, a lot of minor league experience, it could come back to cost him.
Grant, one of the most experienced hitters in the PIL. Spent a few years in the Padres organization. Fastball in there, strike one. The Studs, probably one of the only teams you'll see in the league with guys like that. It's one of 2 guys that have played on the Studs this year that spent time in Major League systems. Morgan McCulloch played in the Angels and Mariners organizations as well. He is not in the lineup today. Still checks on Ringrose, then the 0-1, misses up, ball 1.
Yeah, it was important for Still to get ahead 0-1 in the count after getting behind 2-0 quickly and eventually walking Jeffries. Jeffries had a tough time catching up to his fastball. He's looking for Still to just pound the zone.
Grant still looking for his first hit today, but has reached twice. Weakly grounded, Parker in on it. The throw, Bartholomew can't handle it. Now the runner breaks for home, and Ringrose is going to be safe. Now Barsotti over to third. Tag is in time from Watson, and the Fish Sticks are out of it. But a heads-up play by Ringrose puts the Studs out in front as we've reached the 7th inning stretch. A wild play to end the top of the 7th, and the Seattle Studs are in front for the first time today. It is 2-1. The visiting Studs lead the Fish Sticks in the middle of the 7th.
Nothing you can really say but chaos. That was great heads-up play by Ringrose there, and then another nice heads-up play on the defensive side by Barsotti. But nonetheless, the Studs will have the lead as we are in the 7th inning stretch.
Emerson Clark will come back out for the Studs. A great work against 2 batters in the 6th to get out of it clean, and now Clark looking to carry that over into the 7th. It will be a dangerous part of the lineup for the Fish Sticks, though. Gullard, George, Bartholomew at the top of the card.
Yeah, taking a look at Rylan Gullard after belting the Fish Sticks' first and only run on the 3rd pitch of the game back in the 1st, way over the left center field wall. He's forced 2 walks, and quite frankly, the Studs have been pretty scared to pitch to him after seeing that power display. And now down a run after the Studs just tacked one on in that chaotic final play in the top of the 7th. It's essential that Gullard does his job once again and gets to first as the leadoff man.
2 hits for the Fish Sticks today. Gullard obviously launched one over the wall for the lone run, and then Von Lowe with yet another hit. He would be due up 6th in this inning, as he is the 6th hitter, and this is the leadoff hitter. So a little math lesson for everyone at home.
The Cronkite School of Journalism.
Yes.
Brilliant over there at ASU.
Yeah, make whatever ASU joke you want out of that. Clark's first offering to Gullard misses, and it's another ball that Rylan Gullard sees after making the Studs pay in the 1st inning.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect Gullard to swing the bat here until he sees the exact pitch he's looking for. 2 straight walks, and they've been scared to throw it into the strike zone.
Once again, Clark misses to Gullard, and this is the 2nd time since that homer that Gullard has led off an inning. Walked in the 3rd.
And he's taken off both times he's been on base, was thrown out, and it was successful the other time. And that's a good take from Gullard. Again, hasn't seen a strike in about 4 pitches going back to his last at-bat. Still a 2-1 count.
Also stole a base last time around the 5th. There's the first swing we've seen from him in a while, and it's a wave and a miss for strike 2. You can tell he was a bit frustrated about missing that one. Now it's 2-2. Emerson Clark working real well so far with a chance to eliminate the most dangerous hitter in the Fish Sticks lineup. Gullard through the right side. It's a base hit. And Rylan Gullard continues to stay hot for the Fish Sticks. He's reached base all 4 times today.
Yeah, you could see him smiling a bit. He caught a dosage of luck there on that swing. That one he almost got jammed up on, but perfectly placed past Copeland at first, and he did his job. A nice at-bat from Gullard, and he's been on all 4 times now for the Fish Sticks.
So now, a phrase I was not expecting to say today, Gavin George's day is done. Cade Galen will come up in a situation where you got to think he's probably laying down a bunt. Gullard already with a stolen base today, but was also caught trying to nab second in the 3rd. First pitch misses, ball 1. Galen 2 for 12 on the season, but has worked 3 walks, so a really disciplined hitter.
Yeah, Portland Pilot at the Division I level hasn't seen run in the past couple of years. A lot of speed, and like you said, I would not be surprised if he lays down a bunt here.
There it is, and that is fouled off. Not able to put it in play. Gullard ready to go over at first, and I said it earlier in the game, but the base paths were going to be huge in this one, and Tristan Ringrose proved that in the top half of the 7th to give the Studs the lead.
I would also expect maybe a hit-and-run scenario from Kribbe called. Gullard has already tried to steal base twice, got caught once. He wants nothing to do but just to advance Gullard over there at first base. And Galen, a good contact hitter.
Well, 1 Galen watches it go for ball 2. Braden Bartholome in the on-deck circle. This is the kind of situation Bartholome has really thrived in if Galen were to reach base here. Two balls and 1 strike to the Portland Pilot, and he pulls back quickly, ball 3. Studs wanted it, but Galen working on yet another walk.
Yeah, Clark having a little bit of trouble as there's a lot of action in the bullpen. Trying to find the zone right now. Almost had another walk to Gullard over there at first. This is another extended at-bat where he's been behind.
Fish Sticks fell behind in the top half. Now looking to change that, and Clark misses high. 2 base runners to start the bottom of the 7th. With the middle of the order coming up, Fish Sticks in a dangerous spot here.
Yeah, and I think this might be the end of Clark's night. Really solid outing again out of the bullpen to keep the Fish Sticks scoreless. But now with 2 on and nobody out, the Studs are going to turn to another pitcher.
So with Bartholome, Parker, and Dule due up, the Seattle Studs turn to the bullpen, nursing a 1-run lead. Fish Sticks with a runner in scoring position and nobody down in the bottom of the 7th.
Oh, sweet. Thanks, Crispy.
For over 15 years, As You Wish Electric has offered the comprehensive electrical solutions Seattle families trust. We are proud to announce that we can now also serve your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. As we grow, we are committed to delivering the same knowledgeable and friendly experience that earned our spot as the region's top-rated electrical company. Contact As You Wish Electric Plumbing, Heating, and Air today to learn more.
First pitch Bartholome sees is popped up on the right side of the infield, and he is out quickly. So Emerson Clark stays in this game, and the first pitch he throws after a mound visit is an out. So a big recovery for Clark on the mound.
Yeah, that was an extended mound visit where we fully thought with 2 arms warming up in the Studs bullpen that Clark's night would be over. But a great recovery after that mound visit. 1 pitch and Bartholome is retired. Now a ground ball could end this inning.
Luke Parker now up for the Fish Sticks. as Gullard and Galen both go to the throw to third. Not accurate enough. Almost an incredible tag from Crane, but the double steal is effective, and the Fish Sticks threatening even further. You could tell the Studs dugout thought Crane might have made the play of the day over there with the tag. Ooh, he just missed that. Wow, that would have been impressive.
Gutsy call there by Kribbe to send the double steal, the first of the year for the Fish Sticks.
0-1. Parker is frozen, but that pitch misses for ball one.
Yeah, Parker's been really antsy to just unleash on a ball. Got called out on strike three on an off-speed that just tickled the top of the zone. It was a questionable call, but he's looking to swing.
He sure was, and that is a high fastball that he chases after for strike two. So the Fish Sticks, for the second inning in a row, with all kinds of traffic on the base paths, weren't able to come away with anything against Emerson Clark in the sixth. Looking for a different result in the seventh. Parker behind 1-2. Clark probably on a very short leash here. Still in, facing Luke Parker. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Spikes it. Gullard breaks for home, and the tag is not in time. The Fish Sticks have tied it up. The short backstop, not enough help for the Studs. Luke Parker doesn't even have to do anything. And now the go-ahead run is 90 feet away.
Yeah, that is great heads-up base running by Gullard there. Again, the short backstop didn't matter to him. He just took off right away, and it was a great jump for the speedy Gullard. And that gamble pays off beautifully for Coach Kribbe on that double steal, and now we're all tied up.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Luke Parker still with a chance to give the Fish Sticks the lead. Another chase at a fastball up on the top shelf, and that's strike 3. The second strikeout of the day for Luke Parker, who's now 0-4. But I think this is one of the guys Coach Kribbe wants up right now. Jackson Dule swinging a hot bat. He's worked a couple walks already today.
Yeah, Dule's been super disciplined at the plate.
Galen has some serious wheels over at third, but with 2 down, that's not going to matter in most situations.
But Gullard capitalized on that wild pitch from Clark. Really the only mistake he's made.
Good hold by Dule for ball 2. It looked like he was ready to swing, and he just pulled it right back. 2 balls, no strikes. Dule already walked twice today. Clark having trouble finding the zone. Big swing, and he's way behind it for strike 1. He was thinking big on that one.
Yeah, 2 RBIs this season for Dule, but this would be the biggest one of the summer so far to break a tie against a team that's 9-0 in the PIL.
2-1 offering, misses low. Halstead all over it. Dule very patient as the shortest wave ever commences at the Friar.
It's actually the first wave of the season, I think.
I think it is, and I was hoping we wouldn't see one, to be honest, but here we are. 3-1 to Dule. Another big swing, and another late one at that. Count is all filled up.
Yeah, both Dule and Parker have been trying to crush balls on the upper half of the zone. And that's where Clark's been living so far. Forced that pop out of Bartholomew with nobody down, probably the biggest out of the game.
Big pitch here, 3-2. Dule watches. No, it's called strike 3, and the tag is applied. Dule doesn't like it, nor does anyone in the Fish Sticks dugout, but that will end the 7th inning. Fish Sticks tie it up as we get another look.
Oh, that's close. It's right at the knees.
That's the kind of pitch you just have to swing at. It might have been a ball,
I would
but
agree.
with 2 strikes, you got to offer it that.
Every youth coach is saying, hey, 3-2 count. Anywhere near the zone, you got to take a swing as the Rainier race. The Wild Rainiers are going after it here.
You'd think it's our ad package, but it's not. That's actively happening on our warning track.
Look at that. The bottle and the can.
Rainier Beer,
Yeah.
a Seattle staple, probably.
Of course.
Probably my favorite sponsor that we have. Can is really
Wow.
turned on.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
it's a new gear. And I got to say, whoever's in bottle kind of set up for failure. That's just
that's a tough one.
that's just a lot of aerodynamic questions that I
Yeah.
cannot answer.
The can coming away.
Yeah, a good fight from bottle.
It was.
I think. It feels like Can should win every time, to be honest. Vince Still faces a couple batters, and his day is quickly done. It will be Beckett Turnbow on the bump, and we say it every time Turnbow comes into the game. His velo is some of the best the Fish Sticks have in their pitching arsenal, but the control will be the question once again for Beckett Turnbow.
Yeah, he's gone 3 1/3. This will be his third appearance of the summer. As you said, obvious velocity, which is where Kribbe has been going so far today. But a team leading 5 walks to just 3 strikeouts for Turnbow. So we'll see if he can rein it in. As you see, that one escaped him on the warm-up pitch. But it looks like low 90s velocity for Turnbow, who just finished his senior year at Tahoma High School. But right now, he just needs to rein it in. He hasn't allowed that many hits. Has allowed 2 earned in those 3 1/3 innings, but just 1 hit. So if he gets in the zone, it's been hard to deal with. But those 5 walks are why his ERA isn't lower than it is.
Yeah, only allowed 1 hit all season at Tahoma, but obviously a good amount of walks during that season. Really had a great season in his senior year down at Tahoma. Can also hit 383 in 2026 in his senior year in high school, and is going to go be an Aggie down in Las Cruces. Bradley Carl watches strike 1 go by. We talked about Carl in the open, and he is 1 for 2 with a walk, but it's been in some pretty quiet appearances, I'd say.
For his standards, definitely entering in the game, hitting .415 in 15 games.
Turnbow quickly ahead 0-2. Carl, no chance at making contact there.
I'd expect to see an off-speed from Turnbow here. Does boast a nice slider as well. I think Carl's going to be sitting on the fastball here after seeing 2 in a row. We'll see if Turnbow tries to get him to chase.
0-2, Turnbow goes fastball. Carl able to fight it off. You're not going to see a lot of off-speed from Turnbow. It's going to be pretty heavy fastball mix.
Well, the first 3 fastballs were in the zone. That's a great start for Turnbow, who's way ahead in this count.
He has had a tendency to get ahead in counts this season and then lose batters just because he's so reliant on that fastball. They're able to time it up most of the time. 0-2. There's our first look at Beckett Turnbow, the other side of the coin for number 27.
Yeah, that was probably thrown at, according to my pitch monitor there, about 98 miles an hour. I think Turnbow just trying to whiz that way too fast past Carl, and obviously got away from him.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Turnbow, that one spiked, so 1 way high and 1 way low, and the count is even.
This has been the Turnbow experience so far this summer. Threw 3 fastballs right in the zone that Carl had no chance of catching up on, and now he's getting a little wild with it, trying to punch him out. I think he's just thinking strikeout a little too much. Again, just 1 hit through 3 1/3. When he puts it in the zone, it's been hard to hit.
Might be a good chance to slide in an off-speed pitch as well, something you don't see a lot of from Turnbow when he's pitching. Comes set for 2-2. It's a fastball, and Carl is all over it, driven into center field. Gullard tracking back. What a catch by Rylan Gullard! Is there anything Rylan Gullard cannot do on a baseball field?
Well, he's done just about everything, and that got some oohs and ahs from the crowd after Beckett Turnbow's 6th straight fastball. Carl got all over that one. Saw Turnbow, thought maybe it was gone, and it might have been earlier in this game, but the wind has died down, and what a snag from Gullard out there.
So before Turnbow gives up a ball that goes about 5 feet further than that last one, Coach Kribbe is going to go have a chat as Jeremiah Crane comes up. Crane 1 for 3 on the day, and this is the best part of the Studs lineup for sure.
Yeah, that was That was a fiery at-bat. You saw 3 straight fastballs, one of them that was fouled off by Carl, who has been by far the best hitter for the Studs this season. And then Turnbow just trying to punch him out, trying to do too much with the fastball. Sails it about 5 feet over 6'3", 245 Peyton Barsati's head, and then spikes one about 5 feet in front of the plate. And then Ford finally putting it into the zone. And Carl gave it a ride, but Rylan Gollard has been everywhere tonight.
So Bradley Carl almost makes Turnbow pay. And the first pitch to Jeremiah Crane misses outside. I think Barsati is the best catcher to have with Turnbow is in. Obviously Hellner and Turnbow with the New Mexico State connection. But Barsati is able to handle that velocity, I think, a little bit better than Hellner is. And that fastball is in there for strike one. So, like we've said time and time again, when that fastball is in there, it is so hard to hit. Bradley Carl, obviously, a great hitter, but we just haven't seen a lot of good contact on that fastball so far this season. 1 ball, 1 strike. Turnbow goes top rail. Crane nowhere near it for strike 2. So Turnbow ahead in the count once again.
Yeah, Crane was well behind that fastball up in the zone. We saw 1 off-speed so far from Turnbow. It was the first pitch of this at-bat, and it was into the turf.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Turnbow got Crane to chase. Strikes him out with the off-speed. Not something you're going to see a lot of out of Beckett Turnbow, but a big strikeout nonetheless, and there's 2 gone.
Yeah, Crane was sitting on that fastball, thought he had it low in the zone, and a nice off-speed got him chasing on a ball that landed in the plate. So nice pitch sequencing from Turnbow on that at-bat to kind of throw off the 3-hole hitter in Crane. But Halstead is no easy challenge here in the cleanup spot.
Halstead driven a run with a base hit. That's driven into left field. It's got a chance. Galen right at the wall makes the play. Turnbow, some loud contact, but a 1-2-3 inning for the New Mexico State Aggie, and the Fish Sticks stay tied going into the bottom of the 8th. It's 2-2 at the Friar.
Yeah, that one was close as well. I thought both those balls were gone off the bat, but with the wind dying, as I mentioned, that one able to stay in the park.
And you could tell Halstead liked how he hit that. It was almost a pimp job in the box, but not enough go on that ball as Logan Egge will come in for the Studs. Emerson Clark gives up a run in the bottom of the 7th as the upcoming schedule pops up on your screens. It's Pride Night on Saturday the 20th, 6:05 p.m. first pitch, and then the Seal Slingers will make an appearance in White Center on Sunday the 21st. First pitch is 1:05 p.m. and then a $3 Thursday return next week on the 25th. First pitch 6:35, all 3 of those coming against the Redmond Dudes. Tomorrow there will be an away game against these very same Seattle Studs. Kyle and I will be down there in Tacoma at the University of Puget Sound. You can catch us right here on the Fish Sticks YouTube network with our radio broadcast, something that I think we've had a lot of fun doing so far this year. We've gotten to see all the ballparks, and man, I just can't get over those views we had out in Snoqualmie with the Honkers.
Yeah, Mount Si High School was absolutely beautiful, but definitely tune into the radio broadcast. It's a lot of fun to be able to travel on the road with this Fish Sticks team. But this is a big one. This one right now, as we head to the 8th in a tie game, it's Logan Egge who will get the call. Another high-velocity right-hander for the Studs. Egge, 12 games last year at Pacific Lutheran, 35 strikeouts in 27 1/3 last season. So a big strikeout guy coming in against one of the hottest hitters in the PIL, for that matter, in Von Lowe.
It's Lowe, Barsati, Hamada, 3 replacements for the Fish Sticks in the bottom of the 8th in what has been a pretty good display of baseball on both sides of the coin tonight. 2-2 at the Friar in a game that has moved pretty quickly. The sun still shining on Mel Olson Stadium. Lowe is 1 for 2 today. Came in in the fourth as a replacement for Riley Sonoy. He's behind the fastball. Fouls it off for strike one.
Yeah, Von Lowe and Tyler Eisenhut come in with the exact same approach. They're looking for that first pitch fastball, and they're swinging. That's what Lowe did back in the sixth for the second hit of the game for the Fish Sticks.
0-1, Eggy just misses up high. It's kind of similar to Beckett Turnbow in the sense that when he does sneak in that off speed, it is really hard to read. 1-1 Lowe, a little ahead of it, might stay in play. Halstein can't read it as it sneaks up and over the net for a foul ball and strike two. So almost does harm on the Fish Sticks, but Von Lowe stays alive.
Yeah, it's one of the rare times you'll see a foul ball stay within the confines of the park. That was a towering fly ball. Lowe just missed that pitch. Got what he was looking for.
And the race was won as Lowe stays alive once again. Every foul ball that stays within the fences is just a mad dash for about 30 kids in here.
The kids are as involved as anyone here at the Friar.
Yeah, you can see it right in front of us. I mean, it's not as potent as it was earlier today, but the railing staying full into the late innings as Lowe, once again, he was ahead on the off speed, but able to stay alive.
Be interesting to see what Eggy goes to here. That's two straight off speeds, and Lowe is expecting fastball. Pretty lucky to stay in the count after getting in front of both of them.
1-2 to Lowe again, and another foul ball. Lowe making Eggy work here.
Yeah, rinse and repeat. I think Lowe was more on time with that off speed that was headed towards the outside part of the plate. Nicely done by Lowe to foul that one off.
Lowe going to be a junior at Tacoma Community College. The Titans down south. 1-2, misses up, and finally the count moves away from 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Lowe's hit over 300 in both seasons that he's been at Tacoma Community College, and now starting to pick up the pace as we head into the bulk of things in the summer. And
chases an off-speed. Halstead slips and falls on the turf, but the throw is in time anyway. For out number 1, you can tell Lowe a little frustrated with that swing.
Yeah, Eggy had him from the jump with that off-speed. Lowe able to foul off a couple of them, but that time in the turf, he finally bit and missed.
Peyton Barsotti now up for DubSea. Took one to the arm in his first at-bat. Placed Evan Hellner behind the plate back into 6th. First pitch from Eggy. Barsotti thought about going and still got wood on it anyway. It's a foul ball.
Yeah, off-speed working for Eggy right now, a lot like what it was earlier in the game for Zach Hampson coming in to relieve Eli Hurst, and he's been going back to it time and time again.
0-1, up and in on Barsotti's hands. Called a ball. Peyton Barsotti 1 for 13 on the season, but that one hit was a meaningful one. Launched a homer against the Hawkers, and he goes around there for strike 2.
Yeah, Eggy in complete control of the Fish Sticks right now with that off-speed pitch. He's been missing high and inside with his fastball.
1-2 Barsotti, good charge into it, but it's foul. And another ball that might put a car in jeopardy out there. Barsotti, I mean, that looked like a pretty modest swing and still a hard hit ball.
Yeah, definitely not in the top half of the hardest swings that we've seen Barsotti throw out this year, but still got a huge piece of that.
1-2 from Eggy, way up, ball 2.
It's a great layoff from Barsotti there. He's gotten caught a couple of times this season on that exact same pitch.
Fish Sticks hitters making Eggy work. 2-2. Nice hold from Barsotti, the appeal. Call the ball, and the count is full. 2 walks this season for Peyton Barsotti. Here's the 3-2. And that is a nice pitch from Logan Eggy. It's strike 3. And there's no arguing that one. Barsotti just turns right back to the dugout. Logan Egge just paints the inside part of the zone.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought Egge was maybe going to try to get Barsotti to chase there. I think they both knew that an off-speed was coming. I don't think Barsotti knew that it was going to drop right into the zone like that after seeing a few off-speeds go into the turf, but nicely done by Egge.
So 2 strikeouts to start the 8th, and now a very tough guy to strike out, Alex Hamada. Steps in. Emerson Clark was able to crack the code in the 6th. He struck out Hamada swinging. As the 1-0, Hamada popped up into center field. A convoy of Studs defenders collapse on the ball, and it's Sunic who eventually makes the play. 8 innings down, and we are all square at 2-2 going into the final inning, and Becca Turnbow will get another inning of work for the Fish Sticks.
Yeah, this is exactly what I expected from these two teams. Maybe not this manner. I thought maybe there'd be more offense, but these are 2 really evenly matched squads. The Studs have been really good all season long, and the Fish Sticks, after their 1-3 start, have really picked things up both at the plate and on the mound in their last 2 games. Have combined for 30-5 run differential in the last 2 against the Yaks and the Honkers. So 2 teams at the top of their game right now. 2-game win streak seems pretty modest for the Fish Sticks to the 11-game win streak that the Studs have right now, but all square going to the top of the 9th, and this is some entertaining baseball.
The Studs have just found a way in a lot of these situations. They went into the 9th against the Honkers down 8-7, came out on top 9-8, and it's been from a barrage of runs, but the Fish Sticks have just not allowed that tonight.
It'll be interesting to see how short of a leash Turnbow has in the top of the 9th with some of his control issues that he's shown this year. Had a really clean top of the 8th. It might have been high panic for him after seeing 2 balls pop out all the way to the warning track, but he kept the command in check. So we'll see how many base runners he's allowed if that comes back to haunt him.
Jackson Copeland will lead off the inning for the Studs. That will be followed by Tristan Ringrose and Ryan Spiro. Ringrose had a double in the 7th and then ended up scoring on a really good base running play, giving the Studs the lead. Fish Sticks quickly took it back in the bottom half of that same 7th inning.
Yeah, this is the part of the lineup that saw Zach Hampson a couple innings ago. A big velocity difference between Turnbow and Hampson, as Hampson relies mostly on that off-speed.
Turnbow gave up some pretty deep flyouts in the top of the 8th, and a couple that we both thought had a chance at leaving the yard and giving the Studs the lead, but a heck of a play out in center by Rylan Gullard, and then Cade Galen was able to make a play out and left, and it was a 1-2-3 inning for Turnbow. So he comes back in the 9th, and he's quickly ahead 0-2 on Copeland.
Yeah, 2 straight breaking balls coming out to start the top of the 9th for Turnbow. That completely fooled me, but it's fooled Copeland as well.
Turnbow doesn't like the sign from Barsotti, shakes it off. Now he's got what he wants. 0-2, fastball misses up, and I think when he shook off a sign, we should have expected a fastball.
Yeah, it was after 2 straight curveballs that had fooled Copeland. Coach Kribbe wanting to go with the off speed, and Turnbow just tried to fire it too fast.
Turnbow still ahead, 1-2, fastball. Copeland almost offers at it. Might have gotten a piece of the bat, I think it did, so that'll be a foul ball. Count stays at 1-2.
Crucial for Turnbow to get the first out of the inning right here and stop any possible momentum here in the top of the 9th.
Turnbow taking his time. We can see him get rushed in some situations, so it's good to see him just go hang out with the rosin bag behind the mound. Now he's ready to go with the 1-2. Goes off speed, and it's spiked before it even reaches the plate. 2-2 as almost a light show of sorts. Someone has lost their balloons, and they are flying over left field.
Oh, dear.
What if a ball hits one of those? What's the ruling?
That would be about a 500-foot home run from Copeland if that's the case.
2-2, that misses up. And the count is full. Another instance of Turnbow. There we are. Yeah, pretty beautiful sunset, and the balloons just adding to the aesthetic here. We're close to the SeaTac airport. That might not be, they might not love that.
No.
Count is full. Turnbow comes home to Copeland with the 3-2, and it's fouled off a long ways.
Yeah, you mentioned it, how sometimes Turnbow can get ahead in counts and then kind of lose them as he tries to get the punch out of the batter. And this is a scenario right here, the exact situation you're talking about. So far, Copeland has not been able to put a bat on the ball, so it's essential for Turnbow to get this one in the zone.
Second straight payoff from Turnbow. Fastball misses up. Great AB from Copeland, and he is on with a walk.
Yeah, 2 straight off speeds that went into the zone. It would have been nice to just get him out on the 0-2 count, but as you said, a great at-bat from Copeland to come down from that 0-2 deficit, and the leadoff man is aboard.
So we've already seen Tristan Ringrose put his fingerprint on this game. A hustle double that turned into the go-ahead run in the 7th. Now with a runner on first and nobody out in the 9th. Big spot here. He shows bunt, and it is a nice one. Nicely fielded by Turnbow. He'll just go to first. So the sack bunt is effective from Ringrose, and the runner advances to second. 1 down. I think that was well covered by Beckett. Turnbow, good execution always.
Yeah, he took a quick peek at second base. It would have been a really tough play, but fielded well. Now the runner on second, pretty much good all the way around. A good sack bunt there to advance Copeland to second base, and good on Turnbow to not force that and maybe run into more trouble down the line.
So now Ryan Spiro, who, yes, he didn't start, and yes, he's in the 7th hole, but this is a very dangerous hitter. He's hitting .389 with an OPS just short of 1 coming into this one. Grounded out to Watson over at third base in his first at-bat. And it's foul tip for strike 1 to start him off the second time around.
Yeah, Spiro spent 3 years at the University of Puget Sound, where we'll be tomorrow. Has hit over 300 in all 3 of those seasons.
Turnbow misses with an off-speed, and it gets by Barsotti. That means Copeland will advance to third, and the Studs are 90 feet away from taking the lead in the 9th.
Yeah, that's a killer to get past Barsotti there. The off-speed that just bounced off the turf. And a runner at third with 1 out. Now the grounder, the sac fly, all those come into play. And the infield is playing in now.
Infield almost all in that grass turf. No one in the dirt. Turnbow misses up. Count is 2-1.
That leadoff walk killer for Turnbow after getting ahead 0-2. Now he's at third with 1 gone.
Turnbow in a pickle here, 2-1. Nice pitch. Spiro doesn't think he offered at it, and he did not. I'd love to get another look at that.
Yeah, that was close. That looked like he went there on that off speed. Take
Turnbow
a look.
gets set for 3-1 as we get another look at
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Another close call on the check swing, but it's 3-1 to Ryan Spiro. Turnbow behind, fastball in there, strike 2, and this would just be a huge strikeout for Beckett Turnbow.
Yeah, this is a big one. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to walk him and put a possible force out and a double play ball, but that would eliminate the runner on third as well with 1 still gone. Turnbow looking to reset here.
Spiro calls time late in a big situation here, top of the 9th. Full count. Now Barsotti calls time. Maybe got off of the same page with Turnbow. Really building the moment here. Now both ends ready for the 3-2. Turnbow is set. Offering, misses, it's outside. Spiro reaches on a walk, and there's runners on the corners.
Yeah, I think everyone at the Friar knew the exact pitch that was coming. I don't think Barsotti was going to risk an off-speed pitch there after one just got away from him. And a runner at third base. It was just on Turnbow to be able to put that in the zone. And now runners on first and third with Sunic at the plate.
Cohen Sunic has struck out 3 times today. He's 0 for 3, but he can make everyone forget about that with a hit here. Corners in, middle infielders back for the Fish Sticks. Sunic shows bunt. The off-speed almost gets by Barsati, and the St. Mary's Gale behind the dish saves a run.
Yeah, that was a really nice job from Barsati after that pass ball got away from him. That was able to get Copeland to third base. I think Turnbow was a little thrown off by that bunt, but I think that Sunic is going to turn right around and do it again.
Sunic ready to go around, and he does, and the fastball's in there for strike one. Sunic decides to pull back. It's got to be hard to get a bunt off with that kind of velocity.
And with Watson creeping in and Bartholomew having to keep Sparrow at first, I think he was trying to pull that bunt and couldn't really get a good angle and try to put this towards Bartholomew.
1-1 from Turnbow to Sunic. He shows bunt again, and that is fouled way off into the sky. Just the speed of Turnbow's fastball gives Sunic all kinds of problems. Somehow a bunt has made its way out of the netting here.
That's big. I would not expect Sunic to show bunt here with 2 strikes. I'd let him just swing away. I think Watson's backing up a little bit as well. And this would be a big out.
Turnbow ahead 1-2 on Sunic. Nods to Barsati. The 1-2 almost finds the zone and misses out for ball 2.
Sunic has not seen the fastball well today. 2 swinging strikeouts on that pitch against Hurst. And Turnbow doesn't quite have that velocity, but it's pretty close to it.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Turnbow gets the double play ball. 4, 6, 3. Oh, Sunic slides head first into first base. What a heads-up play. And the Studs have taken the lead in the 9th. All kinds of hustle from Cohen Sunic, and the Studs lead.
Yeah, talk about the speed that we've been talking about all game. That was perfectly done by Hamada on a pretty hard-hit ball. Parker, one of the biggest arms on the team, and a great slide. The bench loved it. And that's just a baseball play from Sunic, who again struck out the first 3 times he was up. Finally got a pitch he liked, turned it to the wrong direction, right at Hamada, but still was able to beat it out. Most important play of the game so far for the Studs.
Turnbow checks on him over at first. Man, you just can't say enough about that effort from Cohen Sunic, and it gives the Studs a 3-2 lead in the 9th, and that's exactly what Turnbow was looking for, too, that double play ball to the middle of the infield. First pitch to Cooper Jeffries, fastball, low end of the zone, strike 1.
It's big for Turnbow to just reset now and just focus on getting this last out, not let this spiral out of control before going back to the top of the order.
Watson, Gullard, Galen due up for the Fish Sticks, so 9-1-2. Obviously, Gullard has been all over the place tonight. Hit a homer in the first.
This is where the Fish Sticks have struggled this season. They have 2 losses already that have been 1-run losses.
Sunic breaks, and that is pieced by Cooper Jeffries into right field. It's extra bases. He slips and blows a tire coming around first. Sunic heading for home. The relay not in time. Barsati can't handle it. Now no one's covering second. Jeffries will stay on first. And the Studs double their lead. It's 4-2 Seattle.
Yeah, and Sunic, once again, speed kills. And he took off on that pitch. That was perfectly done on the hit and run by Jeffries at the bottom of the order to punch that towards right field. And as soon as Sunic saw that, it was off to the races. I mean, you said it. Jeffries slipped going around, so a little fortunate for the Fish Sticks. And it would have been tough for Barsati. That was a great throw from Dulé to even have a chance at Sunic, who was speeding around, and now a 2-run lead.
Turnbow's in there for strike 1 to Dante Grant. Jeffries really should be in scoring position here, but just lost his footing coming around first.
I got a little excited, as I would be too, making a play like that. That is textbook hit and run right there from the Studs, and just brilliant late game execution as we've seen from them all season long.
4-2, the Seattle Studs lead in the top of the ninth. Fish Sticks, pretty long road back. As Jeffries breaks for second, Barsati's throw nowhere near in timely fashion, and Jeffries now moves to second base where he really should be.
Yeah, the speed in the bottom of this order for the Studs is just killing the Fish Sticks right now. That's the whole reason they're up 2 runs. If Sunic couldn't beat out the throw on that double play ball, this inning would be over, and the Fish Sticks would be going up to bat with the 2-2 tie. Instead, the Studs are up 4-2.
And now Turnbow hits Dante Grant. Studs dugout letting him know about it. Grant will take his base. And Seattle looking to extend that lead even further.
Yeah, now with Bradley Carl coming up to the plate, this could get ugly in one swing. I'm surprised Kribbe hasn't come out to at least talk to Turnbow to maybe calm him down a little bit. But Carl, 1 for 3 today, and set what I thought was a no-doubter out to center field, and it took all of the ballpark to keep it in.
Turnbow comes set. Probably the best hitter in the lineup. Carl down the right field line. Foul ball just barely. Bradley Carl was inches away from making this a 6-2 game and putting likely the final nail in the Fish Sticks coffin tonight.
Yeah, that is one that Turnbow will like to have back after laying that in the meat of the zone for Carl. Baseball is a game of inches, and that was inches away from 2 more runs and essentially putting this game away for the Studs, especially with the speed on the base paths.
It's a couple inches that went in favor of the Studs. That is the reason they're still at the plate. Cohen Sunic with an incredible hustle play, sliding into first head first to bring in the first run of the inning, and then Cooper Jeffries, a single down the line that brought in Sunic all the way from first. Studs still threatening with their best hitter up, Bradley Carl. Turnbow ahead 0-1. He misses in there. Barsati thought about checking on Grant over at first.
Saw the Fish Sticks execute a double steal last inning, or a couple innings ago, that ended up giving them their second run and tying things up. With 2 down here, it'd be hard to imagine the Studs would do the same thing.
Turnbow comes home, and that is spiked in the batter's box. 2 balls, 1 strike, and you can kind of see the control starting to go for Beckett Turnbow, especially, you've got to feel a little bit rattled after how this inning is shaken out.
Just a few inches away from getting out of it with a double play ball, had Sunic not dove on that hustle play to first.
2-1, that misses down. Ball 3. Jeremiah Crane is on deck for the Studs. He is 1 for 4 today with a base hit. Focus still is Bradley Carl.
Yeah, this is a tough pitch. Carl's been all over the ball when it's been in the strike zone.
3-1 to Carl. Over to the shortstop, and Parker can't handle it. Should be another run. Now Galen having trouble with it out in left. He throws it to third. Heads up base running from Carl, gets him to second. Studs now up 5-2. A bit of a defensive lapse on a night where the gloves have been so good for the Fish Sticks. And the Studs just padding this lead in the ninth.
Yeah, and this is what the Studs do, much like the Fish Sticks, where they can get in offensive avalanches in innings. The Studs can do the same, and especially when it gets to the top of the order. And that's a tough one for Luke Parker at shortstop. That ball was lined right to him and right at his feet as well. And now with the runners on second and third, the Studs aren't done yet, and the cleanup man at the plate.
Jeremiah Crane way behind the fastball for strike 1. As it feels like the air has really just been sucked out of the fryer. Coming so close to getting out of this inning in a tie ball game. And now the Seattle Studs looking like they might improve to 10-0 in PIL play. It's Crane down the first base line. It's foul.
And this is all because of Sunich's hustle to first base. With one down and runners on first and third, he could have easily let up. But that drove in a run, and it's been chaos from there from the Studs at the plate.
Turnbow ahead 0-2 on Crane, and that misses way high. Barsotti probably saves a run once again. Reaching all the way up to make that play for still ball one. Turnbow has gotten ahead in quite a few counts and has lost probably the majority of those as the 1-2 misses outside, and it looks like the same old story right now.
Yeah, a couple of times, as you mentioned, he's been ahead 1-2, 0-2. He was ahead 0-2 on the first batter of the inning before ending up walking him, and that's kind of what got all this started. It's really essential that he limits the damage here.
2-2 misses up, and the count fills up. It's deja vu for Beckett Turnbow. A walk here would load him up for Halstead, who's already driven in a run today. Now there's some count confusion among everyone.
Yeah, I think the scoreboard said 3-1 before that count, but it was actually 2-2, so now it's 3-2.
Should be 3. Yeah, the in-stadium scoreboard just threw everyone off. Now the Studs third base coach wants to have a talk. He's been pretty chatty over there today. And
yeah, it should be 3-2 now. It did say 3-1 before that pitch.
Coach Kirby just coming to confirm, and now everyone on the same page. It's 3-2. Seems like the only people right in the entire stadium was our great broadcast team down in the press box.
And behind the scenes on the live stream getting that correct. Big shout out. Well, it should be 3-2, but now it says 3-1. Maybe we were wrong.
Who knows at this point?
Well,
either way, it's ball four. It gets by Barsotti, but they're going to keep Grant over at third, and the bases are chucked. The Studs can really put this game out of reach with a hit here, and it's Kai Halstead, the cleanup man.
Yeah, I'm surprised Kribbe hasn't even come out again to talk to Beckett Turnbow. His pitch count really elevating, up to 47 pitches through 1 2/3 of work. And Kribbe's just relying on him to get out of this, but this could get ugly with Halstead.
Halstead 1 for 4 today, also reached on an error. Turnbow still having trouble finding that zone.
Halstead absolutely ripped a single last time earlier in this game.
1-0 in there, strike one.
1 for 3 in RBI and 2 walks yesterday. Hit .336 in 49 games at Pierce College last year. Had 36 RBIs.
Turnbow's 1-1, misses out, ball two. It's been pretty expanded out to the outside part, but that is a ball. Called correctly for ball two.
It's a huge pitch now for Turnbow. This is one where Halstead's going to be expecting fastball.
2 balls, 1 strike. Studs still threatening, and virtually the same pitch and the same call. Turnbow behind 3-1.
Walking in a run here would, again, the damage just keep pouring on. The inning would not be over.
Halstead, big cut. Fouls it back into the inning. Count is full. And this would be the 5th free pass of the inning issued by Beckett Turnbow. 3 walks and 1 hit batsman to this point. In an inning where the Studs have put up 3 and made this a 5-2 ball game. Completely different atmosphere in the Friar right now. Everyone's going. Halstead swings and misses. Turnbow finally out of the inning, but it is a long road back for the Fish Sticks. 5-2, the Studs break it open in the top of the ninth. 9-1-2 coming up for DubSea.
Wendy's went back to the kitchen to give our famous spicy chicken sandwich a total upgrade. More crunch, more flavor, with heat that just hits. Is this our best spicy chicken ever? Looks like a yes to me. Spicy chicken just got better at Wendy's.
They always say, think happy thoughts. It's easy when you're a Wendy's cookie dough frosty fusion. I'm an instant dopamine hit. Get it? Dope-amine? Like cookie dough. I said like cookie dough! Happiness is a cookie dough frosty fusion at Wendy's.
Oh, Audrey, look over there.
Where? Oh, a whole herd of reindeer beers.
Not herds, Audrey. Reindeers come in 6-packs.
Oh,
Wake up, Harley.
Harley, look at the reindeers. Oh, they're just so fresh and friendly.
It will be Isaac Watson, Rylan Gullard, and Cade Galen trying to get the party started and get the Fish Sticks back in this game. The Seattle Studs proving that 9-0 record, scoring 3 in the top of the ninth to take a 5-2 lead into the final frame of regulation. Angus Trengmo and Kyle Sweeney. And Kyle, I mean, you can't say enough about that play Cohen Sunich made over at first.
Yeah, with one out, runners at first and third. Sunich, who had struck out all 3 times he had been at the plate, finally gets a piece of the ball that goes right to Alex Hamada. Pretty textbook 4-6-3 double play until Zunich shows off his speed, keeps the inning alive, drives in a run, and instead of this being a 2-2 game, it's 5-2.
So Isaac Watson leads off 0 for 8 on the season, but a pretty good OBP thanks to 3 walks on the season. And Watson, similarly to Luke Parker, has just kind of gotten unlucky quite a bit this year.
Yeah. This would be an opportune time for his first hit, but obviously as the leadoff man, you can't score 3 runs in one swing.
Way behind the fastball from Logan Egge, who has looked great so far today. That's 0-2. Watson down at Centralia College. Just down I-5 from us, and he chases 3 pitches and 3 strikes. Logan Egge makes quick work of Isaac Watson.
Yeah, Egge has been on the top of his game so far. All the pitchers really have been for the Studs. We talked about their hitting in the opening, but their pitching has been phenomenal. This is a Fish Sticks team that scored 14 and 16 runs in the last 2 games, and they've held them to just 2. And one of them was in the very beginning of the first inning with a Rylan Gullard leadoff homer, and since then, it's been nails from this pitching staff.
Speaking of Rylan Gullard, he comes up with 1 down in the bottom of the ninth. And Egge, the 4th straight strike to start the ninth.
Yeah, Gullard's been the toughest out. 2 for 2, that home run, a single, and 2 walks.
Reached all 4 times he's been up today, as that misses just out. Ball 1, but even when he's missing, Egge is executing. When one misses down, it would be Cade Galen right after Gullard, and then we're looking at Braden Bartholomew and Luke Parker right after that. 2-1, Gullard check swing. It's a grounder over to the shortstop. Sunich makes the play, just beats out Gullard to the bag, and there's 2 down. Galen, now the last chance.
Yeah, that's one that Gullard's going to want back. That one was in the zone. He put pretty solid contact on it, even with the check swing. And the first time he's been out in 5 at-bats. Really good performance from Gullard tonight, but this is all but over after a 3 spot in the top of the inning for the Studs.
Cade Galen, the last chance for the Fish Sticks. Fastball misses out. Galen worked a walk his first time up, almost came around to score the go-ahead run in the 7th. 1-0, Galen pops it up in the infield. Can of corn for Jeremiah Crane, and the Seattle Studs win their 12th game in a row. They are blazing hot. They ride 3 runs in the top of the ninth to a 5-2 victory tonight at Mel Olson Stadium over the Fish Sticks.
Yeah, you talk about late game situations between these two teams. The Studs, a lot more familiarity with their squad, having already played 15 games coming in, and that's the third time this season coming down to the wire that the Fish Sticks have not been able to close the gap and come away with a win. And they are now 1-4 in PIL play.
As we take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Fish Sticks, they've got one road game tomorrow against the Studs, and then they're back at the Friar on Saturday for Pride Night against the Redmond Dudes. First pitch at 6:05. Then the Seal Slingers come to town against the Dudes. It's 1:05 first pitch on the 21st, and then $3 Thursday makes its long-awaited return on the 25th, also against the Dudes. First pitch at 6:35. For our producer, Connor Ryan, and everyone in the press box that makes this broadcast possible, and for Kyle Sweeney to my right, I'm Angus Treadwell. The Seattle Studs are proving it night in and night out. They win 5-2 over the DubSea Fish Sticks and improve to 10-0 in PIL play this season. Have a good night, everybody.